Ooh, trying to figure some stuff out. Give me 1 second. A brother. We go here. Eh? Oh, okay. How did I do this yesterday? There we go.
On this map, I'm actually really curious to see what he's going to pull out. Usually, Grad is stuck on that 9-3R. I mean, we all know and love it.
Right.
But for Bernal, there is a chance we see a different pick.
Yeah, we were discussing having long-range picks, but those light duels, especially when those lights are running invis, if that's what we're going to be seeing, it can be advantageous to have that two-burst option in your back pocket. Take out that light early, stop that H1 infuser, and move on to the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And just seeing them switch from dash to invis is going to be really interesting in the way that they move around the map, because having dash lets you get that vault, get the you want to go, but switching to something different changes everything.
Yeah, but having invis means that you're going to be able to run your blitz grenades and your vanish bomb, or without needing the vanish bomb, which means you can also run the H+.
4 a.m.
You have your gateway, your H+, you have the glitch. Glitches are still somewhat necessary, and on a map like Bernal, I think this is going to be one of the maps where, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense in your head about how you need to go super far, I think it makes a lot of sense in terms of the overall macro of how these teams are going to be playing as normalized.
Well, I think a lot of people think about Dome when they're talking about protection. However, we do see Glitch offering a lot of that. When people are forcing points, you can throw a Glitch on your teammate, denying any winch or push, Dome, anything that may come out from the opposing team, as well as you can use it offensively, kind of make those openings up. So, I mean, it's also a very protective gadget out there.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting, and I'm really excited to see what the changes are going to be.
What?
Like I already said, they've been
BFR
pulling out strats that they've been working on
aren't
for a while
allowed.
now, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you know what else is going to be awesome? Right down here, it's
Only
this
season
dude.
gates.
It's Oscar.
Only
He's
season
down here
8
right
guns
underneath
are
my
not
finger.
allowed.
And Oscar, I actually want to
What?
see what you've got to say. Oh, now you're here.
Dude, I love the P90.
What do you have for me, Oscar? Talk to me.
Artie, welcome back to Stock. What I have is an incredible crowd, and I want to do a little thing. Actually,
That's
I want
crazy
to
to think, because I have not seen anyone use the
We have
P90. I've not
Glorp
seen anyone use
and Vorp, the aliens.
what is it?
They're currently
Burst,
signed with
I think?
Holtau. I don't know about that. I'm in the Assault stand myself. They're not signed with Holtau. They tore the sign apart. Glorp and Vorp, we love you. But here's the thing. I want to show you a little check. I want to get a little heat check here from the crowd. So I'm going to raise my hand over this side. And if you're rooting for a team on this side, I want to get some loudness. And then we're going to do the same, okay? So I want you all to get ready, okay? Can I hear it? For the teams on this side, what do we have? Do we have loud or no? All right. Just a little bit, all right. And then on the other side. All right, all right. It's getting loud in here. The crowd are going. It sounds like a football arena in the stadium right now, but that's pretty good. I think let's
SSG.
The crowd has absolutely lost it here in Stockholm. They're screaming at SSG. The players are standing up. I prefer if the players sat down so they fix their
Dude,
setups.
I wonder what they're
Lamp?
like, where they're at.
Very much. It's
Did
been
it
an
say
absolutely
Stockholm? But
insane day so far. The crowd is even more electric than
I'm talking
yesterday.
about, like,
It's getting loud.
location-wise.
I'm just
It's like they're in like a
worried where
mall
the day is
area.
going to go. But I think I want to give it one more chance because I don't know if everyone actually gave it all for the left side of the stage. So I want to try it one more time. Can I get some noise for left side of stage? That was way better. Maybe the crowd just woke up. And then on the other side of the right side, I still think right side wins that. Or it's right side for me, it's left side for those guys. I have no idea what it's like for stage. It's not my problem, really. Hey, Glorp and Vorp have now disappeared. We lost the aliens. Unlucky, they went. Oh, there they are. Bogus Binted. I don't know what that means. Nerf Holtau. All right. There it is. We'll take that.
Nerf
Anyways,
Holtau?
I've yapped enough. Crowd, you're absolutely wonderful. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. Crowd, lots more for day 2! And back to you, RD.
Let's see if day 2.
Thanks, Oscar. Yeah, let's see if we can get a game going. And hey, can't an alien just come down to Earth and get his
I had to
logos
quit yesterday
minted?
because of that. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, it seems like the players are ready. Seems like everybody is
I
getting
think day 2 is
all
the most
locked
important
in.
day, if you
Chad,
ask me.
I want to see from you. I'm looking. I see you. Give me your predictions. Most of these players, you sub to them on Twitch, you get the emotes of their team. So you should already be supporting. You should already be able to throw in those team logos in the chat. Let me see them. Let me see them.
Yeah. Chat go crazy. I love the copy pastas.
Why do you say
ton
that?
yesterday.
The copy pastas
Yeah.
are crazy.
They're some of my favorite. And, I used to... Maybe we'll get another show of that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I kind of want to bring it back to you guys in terms of who you think is coming out of this alive. At least one team that you think is coming out.
Of course, you throw it to us. All right, one team is coming up. It's Envy. Envy has just been such a strong player. There's a reason that everybody fears them in the arena. So I would be shocked if they don't come out of this.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's Envy. I'm thinking it's Envy. And I'm thinking it's TSM. I know I'm an SSG fan. I just spent the whole time saying, yeah, I love Lamb, I love Noah, I love Grad, but it's cash out.
But we love all of the teams right now. That's the thing.
We do. I love TSM.
Yeah, exactly.
100% win rate of cash out.
Yeah. All 8 of these teams deserve to be here. And
100% win rate.
My guess, my prediction officially is Envy and TSM.
Well, I'd have to bring it back to TSM. Obviously, we've talked about the 100% win rate in cash out. However, I think they're kind of going to maybe sneak under the radar. They're a very strong team, but with these 3 other Goliaths in the lobby, they may just fly under the radar, sneak their way into the lead, and make a grand entrance into the next game.
Yeah? You think Alliance has any shot?
I think Alliance has a shot. We've seen them sneak away, kind of being uncontested as well. Honestly, if I had to pick 2 out there...
I mean... Right? CBO1 repeater, extremely powerful.
Yeah.
I even had the
pea
mental coach
shooter,
of
brother.
Pulsar Blue telling me that he thinks it might need a nerf. But I don't
Especially on Bernal.
Especially on Bernal. I don't think it needs a nerf personally. Sorry.
Well,
I think that because of that, we have a good chance that Treason could pull out a very decent CBO1 repeater setup on the medium.
Well, what I would say is I have met more Alliance fans this weekend than any other team. So what I would say that they need their fans in the stadium to make it loud and let them be heard.
Yeah, I mean, Palma has something to say about that. But all of these teams, storied, they have history now. You know their lore. You know what they're capable of. This is the time to show it off. I mean, I'm so excited. I've been not only are we hyping this up, usually I'm going to be completely real. When we're waiting for the match to start, it's usually just busy work.
Yeah.
We've been waiting all year for this. This is so hype. And this is actually the most exciting moment for these teams. This is the cash out.
Here we
it's all
go.
going to matter. Let's go ahead and take it over to our casters, Jerry, the Music Man, and Waltz Casts.
This is what it's all about. A stage full of stars. Everyone here has so many fans and they need you to make some noise for them right now. Give it your best. Because here we go into the first cash out of the day, our grand finals day, Waltz.
We need to hear your voices in the arena at this point. We're talking about how Envy hasn't had a lot of games yet. They haven't played against these teams, but I tell you what, Jerry, here's what's interesting. Envy played SSG and PHL2 13 times. 13 games they played a cash out against SSG. Envy
Holy.
I'm going to stat there because, of course, most people will remember the PHL
It's
Championship.
paused. There's no way.
Most people will remember the PHL champs where it was Envy that were dominating pretty much,
yes.
and Space Station were the butt of that game, essentially. They kept having problems. They could never make it through to a final round, but overall, in the past few months, when you take all of the cash-out games they played, you're right.
There's no way
you have that slight edge. And they, of course, managed to buck that trend at the start of yesterday, booking this spot really early in a game involving TSM.
That's insane.
Yes.
When they took TSM through to that 3 versus 3 and won 2-1 to make it right here. And now we are back into the game. Thankfully, a very short break there. As we check in with TSM on the other side, they look like they're about to jump and engage on top of Alliance. But Alliance are nowhere to be seen. It's actually there's a 3-team melee on the other corner of the map right now.
Okay, we're just playing quick cash, I see, over on Vault 2. You know? Taking a look here. No, only one player dead so far, though. STN doing that. Right on the other side, TSM's having a good time. They're just enjoying their side of the map at this point. Meanwhile, there's the fight on B. Alliance tried to go for the plug, but they're going to get caught out. Domes all over the place. The bubble, it's looking like a bubble bath outside. As one goes down, Treason and Palma really struggling at this point. Nobody left at full strength. Envy finally pointing back in as they look to try to steal this vault. Shots coming in from Grad from the outside, pinning Alliance into a corner, looking to finish off the second.
Ooh.
The third finishes his defib. He had to win this. He takes that out again. The nice shots. It's just Treason in the corner, eliminated. Alliance go down, and Envy have moved over to face TSM on the other side.
Yeah, they've seen a weak spot in the map. They decide to go for that fair 3 versus 3 against TSM, and they have decent history against this side. We have, in fact, virtually no history against this side. They just feel like they're the favored ones here, but Busy wins that fight. And wins a second with the Shaq taking down Visions. Huge plays from the Heavy on the side of Envy, leaving only Arca, but we know what he can do in this sort of situation. 1 versus 2. Can he clutch up Waltz?
He has to pull this out right now. He needs to make this work. Envy at full strength, able to come back into the fight, but TSM, they're also coining as well. Look to Steel holding on it right now. Stu going for that flip. He does successfully do so, but his teammates a little bit isolated, losing some health as TSM start to converge once again. Back on this point, resetting. Both teams taking a short breather. But here's Alliance with a third party looking to go ahead and spoil. They've been spotted. Pad up into the air. They're looking for the enemy, but they've been completely evaded. Looking for more, but they have to have a moment here.
And be running out of spaces, running out of hiding holes.
Planning, brother.
They feel the pressure of both TSM and Alliance bearing down upon them. TSM is just biding their time. They can sense it. They know what's going on. They've become so adept at third partying. They've learnt from the chaos of cash out over time.
For real, dude.
Newcomers to the scene, but making a huge impact. Alliance look like they want to make contact with Envy a little bit sooner. Carney throwing out that glitch grenade, and down comes the dome. In comes the dome from Palmer. And there's the steal being attempted. He doesn't actually get the flip, but the timer is working in Envy's favor. TSM coming in, causing absolute chaos. And this is all going to work in Envy's favor. There's no chance for either Alliance or TSM to get this steal. And Busy just running away with STN and the money.
The third party, it was a try. As TSM just completely wipes. They were in the worst end of that third party. They thought they had a chance to reconvene to get back into it, but I think maybe Arco should have been more aggressive in that fight. Try to push it. You never know when that third party is coming in, and Envy just making sure that they sat pretty on top of that money, handling that third party.
Speaking of sitting pretty, Space Station Gaming on the other side of the map are just freely getting away with the first vault for themselves, and it is in fact Alliance that come out on top in terms of the kills on the far side. That at least gives them some sort of pacing towards Vault 3. They can get started on that, but look, TSM already spawning back in and very close to that vault.
SSG, we know they've struggled in cash outs in the past.
The 93 are
They haven't had to deal with too many of these third parties yet, though. They've been completely left alone. Hopefully they will be able to perform when they need. Damage coming into TSM. Alliance continuing to pressure them. They're not going to leave these guys alone. Carney! What a shot! And the third, he's taken out of the air. Alliance, you demons!
Alliance taking to the skies to find their kills there. Beautiful stuff. Usually you're at a disadvantage in midair, but let's tune on in to the other side of the map right now. Space Station Gaming taking a heavy beating from Envy. Also now a 2 versus 2 between the two sides, but the medium up on the side of STN for Envy. Can you get the defib during this? They just go for the fight. They're getting the damage out. Lamp trying to spill out as much as he can with that Shaq, but STN lands the repeater shots, leaving Brad in a 1 versus 2, and this light can survive just about anything, and that might have to be his option here. But no, he finds the kill onto STN, bring it down to 1 versus 1.
We know that Grad can clutch these out. 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2. It doesn't matter. He's in clutch when he needs to be so. But at this moment, he's going to go ahead and get
a reset.
Caution the better part of Valor. Reset.
What is that
It's not a
for,
fight that
though?
matters really anyways. It's Vault's fight.
I'm
You don't want to
wondering
lose
what
that
that's
tempo.
for.
Now, speaking of tempo, Alliance far ahead of it right now with money to their name from plenty of kills. That's the only reason they've got a lot of money right now. They got a plug earlier, they have some kills, and now they are sitting ahead as it stands. If they can hold on to that box on Cathedral, we'll see C get plugged here by Envy, but all eyes going to be on the Cathedral as
So
there is
now
a fight ready
Alliance
to go
is
down
in the
on
game.
the other
That's
side
crazy,
of the map
dude.
between
It's
Space
funny they never
Station
chose Alliance, by the way.
and Alliance.
Fight happening right now on this side as TSM do look to
Cash
push
box
Envy.
is right there.
The
That's
box has been
crazy.
winched far over across the point, and they're looking to separate. There go the goo lines, keeping it closed. They have C4 that is going to get exploded. Doesn't seem to do any damage, holding in that dome, trying to just keep on it, but he's going to get
What are they stopping
all the domes
for?
down. Utility being completely taken away. Stu looking for those angle peaks. They push in on the
They
heavy
coulda got
and
it.
medium, doing a lot of damage. Repeater 1, repeater shot 2. He melts 1, looking for the light. He's going to go ahead and miss that one. Gets his heavy healed up, keeping them alive. Arco looking to hit those shots. STN, he has to stay alive. He needs to get away. Only 2 members on Envy, none of them healthy, running for his life. The goo barely
Get the
separating
steal.
it. That
I would've
steal's going
got
to
the
go in
steal too.
favor of TSM as Envy step back and lick their wounds.
And on the other side of the map, there's only a few seconds left for Alliance to hold on. It seems like they're doing a decent job of it as we
Now,
don't see
didn't
any still
Envy
being
have
attempted.
a
We do, in fact, see it
100%?
still being attempted.
Ow.
The Space Station Gaming are holding F with all their might, but there's the kill from Carnifex onto Lab, taking down the heavy. And that leaves only Grad in a 1 versus 1 now, light versus light, but the timer has elapsed, and that is Alliance's cash to pocket.
Finally back on the other side once again with TSM and Envy. This cash out only halfway through. Still lots of time as Envy look for this retech. But there is the push by the medium and heavy. They push in. The flip is there, but they're taking damage for it. Paying for their sins. SDN, he's being healed up. The infuser, can he keep him alive? It's not enough. Busy, he's on this store by himself. He needs to stay alive. Stu, the healing is gone though. There's nothing left in the tank. He gets winched in, but he takes the TSM actually go.
And Envy grabbing this second vault, setting us up for a mouth-watering final wave of cash outs here, Waltz. TSM very far behind in the standings. Take a quick look up at the top left there. Last place and recovering from that team wipe. Right now, if there are any TSM fans in the audience, they need your support right here, right now, more than ever. Envy very clearly going to get away with this money. And finishing the second wave in first place is huge. They can control the game from here on out. Envy have had it so smooth so far this tournament. Alliance and Space Station, what are their moves going to be? We're watching Alliance right now.
Space Station's,
moving
and
Vault
TSM.
5 towards B.
Space Station, I
Insult
think
side of the map.
If I ain't
TSM
mistaken,
looks
do
to be
they
heading
won?
towards the cash out, but 3 teams maybe converging on
qualifiers.
6. There's the plug from Alliance. Going to be starting that
tripping?
off early.
Pretty sure.
With a minute left on the clock, we have to wonder, what is Envy's plan here? Do you try to split it? Do you try to hold on to it? Splitting, very advantageous here. You don't want to give Alliance the ability to work to push you out. As SSG taking damage. Teams just posturing right now. This is the macro moment. This is where you have to make these decisions that could win you the game.
Oh, Space Station Gaming maybe spying an opening here. As Alliance
buddy.
team absent, but Rajuni back in with the Vault fight. Visions and Arco get the kills. TSM resurgent. Only Stooge left as he tries to fight his way out, but this is not looking great for Envy. A really critical
He's
juncture with only a
running,
minute and a
brother.
half left on the timer.
You can't leave.
And they've lost control of the Vault. 30 seconds here. Arco has to get to Vault 8 to cash out 8, and I think he's going to make it.
gonna
TSM
make
have
it.
hope.
But it's not enough.
It's not going to be enough.
It's not enough. They plug it. They're still below. Envy is happy if they plug it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, SSG looking to go ahead and take this away from Alliance. They know this is their only path through, and it's
But here
working
comes
for
the
them
steal,
right
dude.
now. Carnifex, the last one, with a minute left on the timer. He could wait for them to respawn, but does he want to try and push that? Glitch goes in. He has eyes. He just pushes. Carney, no! Now Treason Cures in.
And now Space Station Gaming
No.
possibly securing themselves first place if they can hold on to it. Now we
So
said
Envy
TSM,
just stole
that cash
from
out doesn't necessarily
Alliance.
matter. They need more money, but look
Now
how
it
close the tallies are. They need kills. $500 per kill. Those bar graphs are going to change
That's
constantly throughout the chaos of the next 40
They can win
seconds.
from kills
It's a
alone.
3-team kill race. With all of these teams, all they need are kills. A single wipe could cost you your entire tournament run. Years of
That's
prep, and
crazy
one wipe
work.
could spell the end of it all.
Space Station are safe. No one are going for them. Everyone wants to converge onto Cash Out A right now. They want a piece of TSM. TSM need to hold firm, and they've already lost Arco. They're falling back. Apollo goes down. Palmer getting the kills. Alliance overtakes them in the standings with that kill.
And now
Treason and Palmer
they
trying to rescue Carnifex or making sure that they just do not wipe. They stay ahead of Envy now in the kill race.
Oh,
that's it. Everyone up. And another Stooge getting huge, but Treason is there with the response to Arco. Is it enough though? The wipe? No, it's not the wipe. And it's Envy at the top by the end with Space Station going through to the 3 versus 3.
Envy with the team wipe on TSM gave them enough money to make it through. They're passing at
the
last
brutal,
possible moment.
Incredible scenes with a kill race to decide this game.
This is the finals. This is the Grand Major.
Holy! And look how devastated.
That's exactly what I say. Holy.
Alliance are. Look how elated Space Station are. Their job isn't over yet.
10 seconds remaining, and Envy.
I'm guessing
they were able to do it. I honestly thought Alliance was getting away with that. One singular goo from TSM prevented a kill that could have sent them over the edge, but Envy, with just no time left, Sotsoyo.
It was one kill win, essentially. I mean, there was a moment when there was $75 separating these two teams. It was insane going down to the wire.
Yeah, I just can't express the energy that was in this in here right now when this was going on. When we started to realize that, oh my God, there's a kill race going on, $75, and it just turned so exciting at the end.
Yeah, and Alliance had such a clutch coin right in the final few seconds as well that kind of kept them in the run, because if they did wipe in that final moment, it would have brought Envy having such an easier time winning that. But overall, I mean, it really came down to the wire in that final match. We saw some crazy plays. TSM had such a great repeater gameplay and damage. It was all around amazing.
I have to say, I am eating my words. I didn't think SSG could do it.
Yeah.
Here we are. There's going to be now one final round between SSG and Envy. The winners of that cash out, the winner of this final round will progress to the final stage of the Grand Major. This feels like a regular game of the finals. They went to a cash out, now to a final round in order to go through. That's what we love to see. I mean, genuinely though,
he said this is
oh my
Rocket
goodness.
League.
Just the aim today, even from TSM, like they were just on point. They didn't make it through, but some of the aim from the repeater was just so lethal. And what's really cool is that we've seen a shift from the repeater being this long-range to medium-range weapon to these people get in their face with the repeater and just destroy with it. I can't do that, and I've put a ton of hours in that repeater, so it's impressive as hell.
Fortnite?
It's secretly the third shotgun
Yeah.
on the medium.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very secretly. But yeah, this is going to be unprecedented. Gaming, though, they looked good. They were in a bit of a bind.
Dude, I'm not even going to lie.
On, but the very first cash out,
announcers,
don't ever say
they don't sound as hype as they was day
SSG
one.
got that one.
I know they were putting on the voice, dude. They're
that
putting
set
on
them up.
the
Even
energy,
here,
but dude,
almost
with all
towards the
those
end,
pauses, I think they're kind of afraid of how
they would have
it's
been
gonna
right in the middle of
go
that kill race.
day
too,
two,
so,
dog.
Yeah,
We
it would have
already
been
have
very
polls
difficult for
already.
them to kind of get that lead as soon as they got that steal. It would have been got down to the wire. Envy also fighting their way out of a third-party situation in that first cash box, which gave them a great lead. Then we saw them fight up against SSG on that second vault fight. Both teams wanted to get a wipe, kind of bring one down, get the lead, but unfortunately for both teams, they stayed alive. They had 1v1 situation versus Busy and Grad. Just couldn't find those picks, and they both kind of got out of dodge and played their cards right.
Yeah, well, it's not over yet for TSM and Alliance. After both Envy and SSG go at it in the best of one to get their qualification slot to the Heat system, we're going to be seeing
the
TSM,
comments, dude.
and we're going to be seeing them go into a best of 3 with Alliance in order to get their qualification. Well, just to not get eliminated.
Anything and everything.
I want to check in with them. I want to see how they're doing. Luckily, I have Oscar on the stage with TSM, ready to check in on the team.
Right, you are already. Welcome back to Stockholm. I'm here with TSM Arco! So, after that game, TSM, I feel like you've been so close the entire time. How are you feeling right now?
It's never easy.
Nah.
It's never been easy for us. So we're just taking it one game at a time.
You're not doing it the easy way, you're doing it the hard way. That's a shout out some of them are going to get. But you're heading into a 3v3 now. How is that? How are you feeling for that 3v3? What about the competition?
So we're feeling good. We're feeling good against any team in a 3v3. And obviously, we want our get back against Alliance, and that's what's going to happen.
It's just what's going to happen. That's what we want to hear. All right, so assuming we get out of the 3v3, you know, there's more cash outs coming. Do we have a secret weapon for a cash out down the line? How are we going to change the cash out and actually win them?
I think these teams know how good we are at cash out, and I think we're good. We're just going to keep playing our game, and we're going to win the next cash out too.
Not worried, cool, calm, collected. Thank you, Arco. Go back and regroup. Everybody give it up for Arco! Oh, crowd is electric. There's so many signs in the crowd. I'm reading all these weird messages. I don't know what this crowd is doing. I don't know the lore and all these signs, but they are weird. All I can say is we're going to head into a 3v3, and it's going to be absolute cinema.
Thank you so much, Oscar. I'm absolutely sure it will be absolute cinema. I'm glad to hear that TSM isn't nearly as unhinged as the crowd. But let's say this. I do know that if the crowd is unhinged, if SSG is unhinged, Envy is stable. After that last one, though, it almost got away from them. But best of one to qualify for the Heat system. Let's go ahead and see it. It's Envy versus SSG. It's Jerry and Waltz to cast it all out.
Thank you, Artie. One match separates these teams from the Final Four and a chance to make finals history. We're going to be back on Bernal and Jerry. We've seen some 3v3 matches, but these teams, not a lot between these teams that we know publicly.
Yeah, bizarrely, despite these teams knowing each other so well and undoubtedly screaming and playing against each other all the time, there's a lot that just hasn't happened. Somehow they've never met in a long time. And now we have the dive coming out from Envy, a massive engagement. They want to go straight for the jugular here. The shot coming out from Busy. He deals a lot of damage, but Grad is the one who gains first blood. Stooge with a trade, though. Busy, the last one alive now on Envy, as he tries to dig himself out of this hole, and he does! What a clutch up from Busy!
No way.
Versus one against him. And he rescues his side in that opening engagement.
Was hurt, though, dude.
Oh, what a turnaround from Busy there. And that's the Busy we know and love. That's the Busy that helped lead his team to a PHL Season 0 victory. A good start for them, but it's not over yet. But with a best of one, only 2 catch-outs. Look at that transfer. Incredible heads-up play, knowing exactly where his team was, where the enemy needed to be. 2 cash-outs.
I absolutely love that we're getting to see the Shack in play with Heavies. Yeah. We're getting to see a side of Heavies that we haven't seen for a very long time. Long have they been shackled to the SA-12, the shotgun, and now they can get to strut their stuff along with the best of them. A nice little position here for Normalize. Just finding that corner gives him the most possible cover, and it looks like he's going to be successful. He gets the flip, but Grad and the rest of Space Station are now all over Envy like flies. Normalize gets a refrag there, and the C-Fib, both Heavies back up. But look at Normalize now locked himself in the bottom with his Heavy, and they're stuck in there. No! Like fish in a barrel.
No
as
way.
They pick apart Space Station.
Oh, it looks so good. The secret hideaway hole ended up becoming their prison. That did not turn out the way they thought it was going to.
No, and Space Station really heavily committing to that early steal without getting any kind of advantage in the fight was surprising to me, because this is what ends up happening. You know, we see teams backed into a corner. This is probably the worst case of that I've ever seen.
Oh, what a self-inflicted wound. But they have a chance to turn it around. There's still time left. A full minute here, and Grad successfully gets his team across. Stu taking a lot of damage as well. A nice drive-by there coming from SSG. Now they have to look to get height.
They won't make the same the kills first. Envy
he's gonna
holding on high, as they were the first time. 40 seconds or so. The Space Station Gaming to not only get these kills, but the flip. Some good kiting going on here by Envy, just stalling, backing away, prolonging the inevitable here. They want to delay the start of this fight as long as they can. Stooge gets some opening damage onto Lambert. That will force them back a little bit further. Envy playing very smart.
Normalize going for that steal. Repeater shot on the way down, but Normalize gets lynched in. Busy looking to go ahead and get the better one of that. 1 down, 2 down from Envy. No, Busy survives again on a hair of health. Lamp about to go down. 1 versus 1. Stu, he's going to clutch this one up.
He was already
cash
hurt,
out. Envy
dude.
going up a single cash out in this best of one.
That's
one
crazy.
cash out to the final 4.
And 3 team fights to Envy so far. Not a single one from Space Station. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper into what we were saying, the history of these two teams.
No,
they have
it
played
was
each other a
low-key
while
bad
back. They
goo,
did not play each other at all in 3 versus 3 during the PHL season. However, if you go back
It didn't really matter.
to
The
Ape
goo
Squad
that was
Time of
above.
Survival in September,
Dude,
they did
there was
play a
no
best of
use
3
for it,
series against
so.
each other. It was Envy that came out on top 2-0
I mean, I
across
guess there's
Horizon
the
and
high behind it, but-
Nozomi. Space Station only managed to get one
I
cash
think
out.
people are
Envy got
talking
4.
about the goo.
Envy dominant in that 3v3 is something
I
we
didn't
often
think it was that
associate with
bad. They
SSG,
literally just jumped
controlling those
down. Couldn't do
3v3s.
nothing.
But in this matchup of Titans,
Stay the
the
high ground.
tiniest mistake becomes a gaping flaw.
And this isn't a best of 3 either. We just got this one map to settle things here and book a very early spot in that top 4, in that grand final, effectively.
Expect caution from these teams. Expect things to SSG, they know they cannot make a single mistake. They have to make sure that they are measured in everything they do. One wrong move, and you could be going through an elimination round.
STN landing a couple of good repeater shots there onto his opposite number, but Normalize has plenty of cover to duck behind. They've got a little bit of a goo jungle gym behind this building to aid the traversal. Get the tap on the vault. Space Station Gaming still have to move it, and they're under heavy pressure, of course, Envy blocking that approach. So a team fight will have to be decided here before anyone gets their hands on that money.
Any miss.
Essentially sitting in the middle of a choke point here with Bernal. It's a large map, but you can keep those sight lines there. Some initial damage between the teams. Immediately,
How do you
they
not
reset.
take any
They lick
damage
their
from that?
wounds,
That's
but
actually
SSG
crazy.
have decided that this might be the time. They might be aggressing now.
Space
Looking at that
Station's about to
RPG.
go
Lamp
for it.
trying to find something at all, but Envy, again, removing themselves from the fight, taking a moment.
It's such a tense dance, but here's a possibility. Grad regrouping
Dog,
with
they
his
got
team.
time galore.
Maybe looking to gain some distance. He finds himself on the
There's no
receiving end
point
of
in
a
rushing,
glitch
dude.
trap. Busy being
Oh, the
in
win.
there, that's huge. And now they will give chase.
He's out of position. They find him. They look for STN as well. A quick kill from
The
Brad.
headshots.
He's looking for Stu on the final, but he's trapped in the goo. He's chasing, being chased. Stu, can he 1v3? He cannot. SSG finally claimed their first team
Grad
fight
was
win
just going
of
crazy
this
there.
match.
They needed that. A confidence booster
What's he doing?
after what ended up being a relatively comfortable end to Bernal on the
Oh, he was
cash-out
waiting.
round.
Interesting.
They need to make sure that they step up here to what Envy are pressing with. B here, and the lovely Space Station sticker on the vault, which you can obtain if you buy their esports bundles. Every one of these teams has an esports bundle in the game right now.
They do.
Dude,
and
it's pretty much a
that
tie game if you ask me.
phenomenal, by the way. You can see the sets that some of these guys are rocking as
Everybody
well.
thinks Envy's
This
gonna
cash
win.
out, I was surprised
We
they didn't.
will
That's the thing.
see,
You don't have
brother.
DMAT. You can't winch the
I
cash
don't
out
really
as
have
easily,
any favorites
especially in
on
the
teams,
arena
so it's
open.
really,
They're going to have to leave it where it is. And Envy taking full
Really
advantage of the fact
unbiased
that this
for
is
me.
an easier place to push. They've already pushed Busy away. Grad as well, taking some damage. He has to back down. But they
He
found
really is going
Normalize.
crazy right
All
now.
3 members of Space Station Gaming just being run.
Oh my God, that was a
They're
save.
chased one. The RPG, it misses. He gooed himself up. Normalize down.
Look, their
Lance
team-
soon to follow.
oh my God,
He's
they're
trying to
both
survive,
down.
but they turn it around. STN and Stu. Busy, he's the last one. He's just going to turn it around. SSG on a sliver of HP between
He
the three
died
of
on.
them.
I think he died on
Normalize with a
purpose.
massive brain play there, encasing himself in
He did
goo,
the wipe.
becoming a sarcophagus to survive
They
until a
had to do
later,
the wipe,
like,
dude.
later point in the fight while the rest of his team did the hard work. Really, really nice stuff from Normalize there. I'm glad we caught that moment.
I think that's what Envy
of
was doing.
Just sheer survival instinct.
The self-entomb worked that time.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't, obviously.
Sometimes
if it's in
it
a
doesn't.
pagoda in the open underneath a cash out, then maybe not as good an idea.
But the delay does
Dude,
so much,
sometimes
especially
it is
when the health
smarter
bars drop
to
so
do wipe.
far. A heads-up play there,
And
as you
come
said,
back,
from
dude. I'm telling
Normalize.
you.
And
Especially with
that is what we
cash
know
box being
SSG
a
are
little
so
bit
good
over
at, is a
half, dude.
split-second decision-making in these
Now they have
3v3s, the ability to back
exactly
each other up
time
at a
to, like,
moment's notice, especially
you know,
someone like
full
Brad,
health, and they
someone
have
that is
time to play
constantly
the game.
in these positions, able to make these 3v3s and these 1v3
Oh,
clutches work.
if his bomb engagement there, but they do smell it out there. Envy taking a bit of damage off the back of it. SSG have the AK.
Ooh, that's
Kill
what I
there
was
from
talking
Grad.
about.
Suj goes down. STA goes down. Grad making waves here, and they might just do it right here, right now. It's all up to Busy to try and
Like-
stick this, and he gets the kill.
Got
We
it.
still have a lamp in the round, and he's got about 10 seconds. He has to time this win perfectly.
Heavy, heavy.
Here we go. He gets it. That should be enough, and he even wins the fight to back it up.
That's what
Lamp
I'm
with a massive
talking
clutch
about, dude.
To keep SSG,
SSG
in this
came
match.
back, dude.
He will not go down without
That's
a
what I'm
fight.
saying,
This
dude. It's
will go to a
literally
cash out
tied,
3,
brother.
as it always was going to. Envy and SSG, the Titans of the NA
Holy.
scene, are going to put themselves to the limits.
You can see what that means to SSG right there. Lamp taking a moment to celebrate in front of the crowd before even getting the reses up. That was a huge engage from SSG.
Yeah, that
The Invis bomb making the difference at the start of it. Oh, a gadget that's crept its way into the meta gradually over the course of this season. Roma and Secret really the team to sort of innovate on that, and everyone's been picking it up slowly but surely.
And we saw a while back, we saw that jump pad RPG had started to fall off in favor. You find yourself exposed, as you said earlier. But with that Vanish Bomb, you can start to use it again because it's harder to pick you off. It gives you that opening damage. Space Station Gaming putting that to great use as we get to yet another vault fight, but this time the cash outs are in a little bit of a more difficult position to push. The winner of this vault fight could just be the winner of this match.
For a bigger plan, brother.
And the winner of this cash out could just be the first team.
It's the art of war
in our top 4, as mentioned. Now,
you know what I mean?
Lamp needing a little bit of healing before they go for this engage. Both teams a little bit bruised. Would rather stall the team fight a bit longer. Normalize on Overwatch. You're looking for an opening. Maybe if he shots, he can stall this a little bit longer. They do have some kind of control of this vault, so really the onus is on Envy here to make the push.
They're on him. They're on his bumper.
Now, maybe isolated by himself. He's got Stooge and Busy on him. He has to duck away.
Gateway goes up from Grad there, but no one goes through it yet. They might try to glitch it out, but it's high and it's difficult to get to.
That's brilliant. They threw it into the air and then shot it in midair.
You can glitch it like that.
To take out the glitch, or to take out the gateway with the glitch barrel. Something you can't do with a glitch grenade. So really, really nice.
Showing off that there is, like, the glitch barrels actually do have maybe more value in some of those unique cases. Such a heads up play, as these teams are just,
that's
no one wants to make the wrong moves. Again, it slows down because these vault fights matter so incredibly much. It has been tapped. It's on the ground. The second a team wins, there's no delay. They're going to be on their way as soon as they can to those cash outs, just trading shots until somebody makes a wrong move.
Speaking of trading shots, we had a virtual trading in places here. Envy now sitting on top of the building. 10 minutes
left. We're in that
and Normalize,
brother. Tie game.
Bubble up. This
dude,
we've seen this on Banal before. Sometimes these vault fights can be devastatingly long, as no one wants to make that first move. Everyone vying
Nobody wants to take it.
Looked like they were going to go for a jump there for a second. I thought they were going to get the backstab onto Envy, but no, it just slows down once again.
They need to stay hot here. Just because they're slowing down, they need to be able to take it explode into action at a moment's notice.
It's a core.
They're just waiting.
It's the crouching tiger, ready in any moment.
Oh my god!
Unfortunately, the hidden dragon. Unfortunately, the hidden dragon of DRG had to make their exit today, but definitely still a lot of gas in the tank.
They got it.
Team. Start of the day, Grad has managed to get hold of that box, just slipping in
they came with it pretty
unnoticed, and gets the gateway out of there. They can make their move towards C, but a fight could happen at any moment. They want to hold up here. This is their chosen bastion, right in the middle of the map. They know roughly where Envy could come from, but Envy have a bit of an advantage here in that they know that they could circle and entrap Space Station Gaming from any angle.
Stu, they know where he is. They spotted. There was separation. He hits one shot. Stu, you can't wipe here. The shot.
He's in trouble at the moment.
Miss from Normalize, allowing them to reset.
You've got to be careful with that mantle animation. Nothing you can do as you're locked into that jump. And very fortunate from Stooge not to be picked off by Normalize there. Speaking of Normalize, he's actually taking the flag off screen. In fact, it looks like he's about to go down. 1 bar of HP. They have to re-engage. Space Station trying to scramble, but they don't get there in time. And they grab the totem. How has he got away with that?
How did he do that?
He's just slipped past them like ships in the night.
You absolute thief! How does he do that?
He's
going to be able to get the res. That's completely changed things.
Oh my god. They don't capitalize on the 3 versus 2, but they do get the cash out started in return. So some progress made.
It's so funny because you're like surprised because you never see.
Where do they set up? How do they do that? Opening a wall? Are they winching it out?
But then again, there shouldn't be anything we should be surprised about because
they don't want to give anything away. They don't want to spend any resources early because they know Space Station right on their tail. There hasn't been a team wipe since the end of that last cash out.
Been a constant skirmish across the entire map. Every team trading bullets, but no one committing. The patience on display from these teams.
And people try to tell you this is an objective-based game. It's all about aim. No. We've had about 5 minutes pass right now. We're on 7 minutes 30 left in the lobby time, and that rarely ever happens. But now, of course, that timer doesn't matter. It's a timer on the cash out with only 1:20 left for Space Station to do something about this. There will likely only be one team fight here as Lamp gets started on that steal. It's a bait.
Baiting them out. Envy not taking it. They know it's just a trap. The ceiling completely blown off the point, too. They're going to be able to fire into it. He has eyes, normalized.
Oh,
he hits shots. The gateway gets him away.
Very smart to enable
Dude, they
that.
could have done it.
And now they dive back in with Envy slightly out of position. But they don't find the opening. Instead, they throw Goo, maybe committing to this steal this time. Normalize has lost his perch. They all jump. They engage on Grad.
Oh my God.
And ending his life rapidly. Now, has
look.
to escape. But he does get the steal.
SSG got the stole.
2 versus 1.
But they're healing.
Back up onto Grad, but the steal coming back in the other direction. I don't think he can come in and stop it. The RPG shoots, but the steal is successful. The kill comes out for love. It's a 2 versus 1. Only Busy left, holding in the last few seconds. He's down to a smidgen of HP. And Grad comes in with the kill. Space Station Gaming. Get the
Space Station just came back, brother.
And booked themselves a spot.
SSG just won,
a best of
dude.
1 with more strategy, more fun than I have ever seen in my
everyone
life. And
thought Envy was
SSG
winning.
proved that they can take it to Envy when it matters. They are your first
That's
team in
insane.
the Final Four.
That final cash out was on a knife edge from start to finish. And it's Space Station Gaming that hold their nerve.
Dude, what's so funny?
Oh my goodness.
Dude, is everyone
Look at what it means to them.
They was
Look
not
at what
gonna
it
win.
means to them. That has to be the most incredible moment. Knowing that you are at that point, you
Dude, that's
make it
crazy.
to the Final Four, you get to rest. SSG continuing to have a quick route, but a well-earned
Dude,
route.
this
That
was- this
fight,
was a fire
that game
match, brother.
was nothing short of perfection.
Side with
That was crazy.
cast over them. Wow. And I mean, they have just swept aside the haters,
Look,
the disbelievers. I was one of
I'm
them.
gonna go through.
I didn't think
what
they'd
people
make
were
it this
saying.
far. I didn't think they'd be the first team to
This is
book
what they
their
were
spot
saying.
in the grand final, RD, but they are.
I mean,
SSG got
what a moment,
demolished.
especially at the very beginning. You could tell
Busy
the nerves
is
were getting to them. I mean,
MVP
it
of
took
the
them
major,
to
but I
the
think
third
SSG
team
wins.
fight
Oh my God,
to be
this
able
dude
to
was right.
win something. But
They-
SSG, they locked in the very last moment when it looked like Busy.
Dude, I
might
can't believe
have
that
just
though.
had it in him.
Everybody
to
was all about
finish
Busy.
it all out,
Busy
finalize
did good,
every
though.
single thing they needed. This witch, the witch heard around the world, finishing off everything. Even though Envy got that steal, SSG, they're able to finish off that last fight. And I mean, look at this score line. It's so close. Only 2 kills between them.
Wow.
And I mean, Grad showing up, showing out. We've seen him with a 9-3R on Bernal in a final round before. This is something else, though. Grad really
Interesting.
showing up for his team.
Yeah, I was amazed with his positioning, the way that he played, and all of his aiming with that 93R as well. Just really solidified how great of a light player he is.
And, I mean, so
It
let's
doesn't
talk
matter
about
how good
that
you are,
goose
dude.
stall.
It
The
really
goose
doesn't.
stall on your own body, not on somebody
Yeah.
stealing, not on somebody that was going for a cash out, on someone trying to, get the kill, and you just encase yourself in goo and let your team come through.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy plays.
Normalize had an amazing goose stall over in that billboard building. I mean, it really just bought himself a lot of time for his team to regroup. Busy just wasted a lot of ammo, and that's the big hindrance of that Shaq 50. You can get that winch, get that kill early on, but as soon as you do, you're caught yourself reloading. And a lot of times it can put yourself at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, at the very beginning of it, though, it really did look like Envy was standing strong. I was remembering, honestly, for that very first cash out, when they were on top of the church and you had Stooge, the 9-3R, like shooting down on top of Lamp while he was stealing. It reminded me of in the closed qualifiers when Uni was up on top of the Angimo building on Fortune Stadium shooting down on Sloth. But, I mean, it was SSG, though, that just came out of nowhere for that second fight and realized we need to lock in now or it's not happening at all.
Yeah, and it was so interesting to see that and then go towards after the second vault fight or the second cash out. The fact that everybody just stopped. You could feel the energy in the arena and you could tell that they both almost had a mutual respect for each other. Nobody really wanted to make the first mistake. So it was really kind of just interesting and tense.
Well, we've had our first team book their spot into the Heat systems. That's going to be Space Station Gaming. But there's 2 teams that need to book a spot for survival. That's right. It's time for some elimination. TSM and Alliance. We just watched them go up against each other in that cash out. They did not win that cash out. That means they're fighting for survival. We're going to be getting a best of 3 final round to see who our first team to go home in phase 3 is. So,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people kind of liken Alliance to SSG in that similar regard. They play very consistently well. We have seen TSM take games off of SSG. They've taken games off of Alliance. Can they do it here? Is this going to be the moment, Rio, where they kind of break out in this 3v3?
I'm not so certain. I really think that Alliance is just such a strong, well-structured team that you go against a team like TSM, they're just not as well studied. They don't even have the same amount of hours in the game. They have aim, they have a lot of strategy, but I don't think it's on the same level.
I mean, this is a really good time, though,
Way
to
to
kind of
talk
talk about that
trash.
whole NA versus EU debacle, given the
Brother.
fact that, well, TSM, they were able to get to that level with all of these other teams. There's a reason that they were in that same cash out with SSG, with Envy, and
Brother, they're winning
Alliance.
for a
They're
reason.
commonly referred to as the
You know what I mean?
best team in EU. I don't think that there is really anyone that doubts that. And so I'm thinking about this in a way of, if TSM really does beat Alliance right here, that might say a lot more about the state of NA versus EMEA than it does about, well, these two teams. I'm just saying. So this is Alliance's time to prove that EU is a good region. Kelly, I know that you're also with me on this. I want to see Alliance do well here. Let's take a look at the maps. Let's see where they're going to be on. Of course, we're going to be starting on Bernal because that was the map we started the cash out on. Ban first up coming out from Alliance. Soul getting taken away.
I need a
TSM
different
says
type
no
of raid.
Monaco. TSM then will remove Sis Horizon. Play too much of the no more Las Vegas Stadium either, which means that we're going to be on Nozomi Citadel for map 2 as Alliance's pick and Fortune Stadium for TSM's pick. So we'll start with Bernal. We'll see if we could go all the way. This will be history.
Yeah, and I do think this could go all the way. We probably will be seeing Fortune Stadium. TSM has what it takes. They're the up-and-comers in this scene right now, especially in NA, as we just talked about. I mean, Arco is that standout light. We have Carnifex. We can't have this matchup without talking about the lights here, Rio.
No, without a doubt. I mean, you've got two incredibly strong lights, and even Artie was alluding to the fact that we might be seeing them switch off of things. We might not have Dash anymore. We might see Invis. Yeah. So I'd love to see how this all plays out, especially if there
Roger
are changes.
Blue.
I mean, hey, in the last one, we saw glitch traps come through.
Yeah.
We could see glitch traps. We could see APS. We could see TSM pulling some crazy stuff out. But if TSM is able to keep up very decent scorelines up against teams like SSG, teams like Envy, then we can assume that this best of 3 final round is going to be just as explosive as the one that we just watched.
Yeah, and in that post-match interview with TSM, they sounded extremely confident going into this match. They know they have what it takes. They have the experience now.
I'm watching this and
said it himself. He's ready.
Asking, brother.
Yeah, and they had time to rest.
Yeah.
And this is a well-rested TSM this time around. So I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a slightly stronger team, although that cash out did give some sense of worry. But all that worry is about to be quelled, at least for us. We get to see what's going to happen. It's over to your casters, Jerry and Walt. The best of 3 to see who's going home.
A rematch of our first best of 3 yesterday in phase 2 between TSM and Alliance. Alliance took that one 2-1, booking them a spot here. Very different stakes now. The loser will go home.
All to play for, everything you have to think about. It really is a complete mental shift from that last best of 3. Last time TSM lost this and still had a chance to qualify, and they did so. Now there are no more mistakes available.
Here we are on Bernal for the last time, for a short time. Palmer takes a little bit of a range shot there from Vision, but he's chunky. He can take those. And he'll back up. Arco running Invis here on the light. Invis cloak as well as the Vanishing Bomb.
All right, let's work.
Try and find an opening from the side. Alliance need to be prepared for his sneaky shenanigans, but Carnifex already managed to get through that gateway and get the vault moving, but Palmer being caught in the back by the shots of Visions from range.
Oh, Treason gets a nice pick onto Arco. A quick res will come out. They're not going to push this one, but it is going to go ahead and give them a little extra time. This is the hallmark of Alliance, the ability of them to use these gateways so impressively. They are going to try and catch them as they move forward at full strength, but they might not be expecting Alliance to be
Once these
so
mediums
far
are selling hard by missing the
but
shots.
surely TSM must have heard them above.
Carnifex running that M11 is an indication that they really do want to be pushing aggressively and in these
I'm-
close quarters.
no.
Oh, a great RPG from
look at
Palmer,
that.
and he
With
finishes the job.
RPG.
Almost hits the winch for the start point, but he doesn't need them as Carnifex picks up the kill on Apollo, and it's only Visions left, and this is the Alliance special, stalling
TSM.
the reset here. As Visions being allowed to long res his teammates. They know they can kill him, and the heavy again. It's just farming at this point.
What the
No
extra
way they was
stagger. Oh, Alliance.
Alliance are the biggest bullies in the scene, and I will not hear
No
otherwise. Apollo
way
needs to
they're
find a
doing them
quick
like
route to
that,
death
dude.
right now.
They have clearly practiced this.
Yeah.
The way he blows up the fire. Don't let him kill it. He's going to be able
You know
to
what?
do so.
I wouldn't have put it past Alliance to have been carrying a smoke canister. To
That's
fire with.
bogus.
But they didn't think that far ahead, thankfully.
That
for
is
TSM. And the
disrespect
reason that has
on a
happened, because you're
whole
wondering what all that's
different
about,
level. Oh my
look at the
God.
timer. Now, instead of TSM having a minute and 20 to push this box,
Alliance,
they have
that
40
was
seconds, and that's including the
crazy.
respawn.
That RPG, though, he was
What
ready.
time is this?
The trap sprung by Palma, not only doing damage, but
And the squats!
completely removing the invis. Oh my god, just the
Palmer's doing nothing to beat the allegations. He loves being the bad guy, and, and I absolutely adore him for it personally. Look at that. I mean, that's just
oh my god.
iconic.
I'm gonna remember 212.
And I mean, TSM, you said it already.
Is there time?
They basically
Is there
just have to run.
212.
Is there time? Apollo's sticking the steal. They
He has time, but-
Yes, they do. Carnifex closing that distance. Treason with the follow-up on Samarco, and Palmer gets his kill onto Vision. The three-piece shared between the three players of Alliance. Utter
That
dominance.
was
They're
the
just picking up
most
where they left off.
disrespectful
Yeah,
thing
this
I've
is
ever seen,
Alliance
dude.
showing that yes, TSM may
This
have
is
the
in
aim,
a
but
tournament.
we got the strategy here. You know, we know how to play this game at a
Tournament.
fundamental level, especially on a map
Tournament.
like Bernal,
Yeah.
a map that
But it's
Secret
torched up.
absolutely love to run. And as two of the top teams in EU, you know that Alliance has played Secret many, many times on Bernal. They've clearly picked up a thing or two.
And you can tell from our voices, like
That is
the way
the
that
most
Alliance are engaging. They've
disrespectful
won
thing,
half.
dude.
this fight
I'm gonna make a
themselves.
video about
Yeah.
this.
It's
Oh
their
my God.
positioning and their utility usage that is putting
That
them in
was
this
the worst
position. They
placement
just
you could have
know
put
this
for a
game.
And that's what Alliance do. Alliance are all about movement. That from the very beginning, when they formed, they were this team that rotations, just surprising teams everywhere. The last time
The
they were on
disrespect,
Bernal
dude, I
against
would
5
not
years,
take it.
they used the gateway just to juke them out. They were doing crazy stuff all over the place.
Carnifex
Dude, they're
truly
focusing on one
big-braining
guy.
the
They can't do
operation
that.
Here with those calls, with the gateways at his disposal. But Visions has managed to maybe get a hold of the vault for a moment, but he gets the feeling that this is what they want. And look at that. Arco caught out in the
Alliance being
open.
bullies,
Carnifex
brother.
gobbles him up for free.
It feels like TSM are expecting maybe they're expecting an NA style. They haven't had a ton of this international experience. Some of these older teams, even though they would play internationally on ping, they haven't always had maybe that breadth of experience. And TSM,
Dude, with Alliance doing what they
expecting
did, dude,
Alliance to
I
make
want
moves,
TSM
it feels
to
like
win.
the
That's
longer
actually
those
crazy.
gaps stretch out,
I'm
they
rooting
don't know
for the
what to
underdog,
do
dude. That
when the
was
fight doesn't happen.
So disrespectful. I can't get
TSM
over
really
that.
have done a lot of hard work, as we've seen
Dude.
throughout this tournament, to catch
The
up to the pack. You know,
disrespect,
newcomers to
brother.
the scene, but a few months ago, basically in preparation for this
Don't say
event. And
TSM
they carry
is
over a
so
lot
bad,
of
dude.
experience from other titles,
Hey man,
but
they're trying.
it has started to show the cracks in the armor, those moments, and this sort of dominance from Alliance that we've seen
They're
in
trying,
that
brother.
previous series, just carrying over into Bernal now, but this time with TSM's fate on the line. And I don't see a way back for them unless they start getting some kills and they start doing to Alliance what
They're getting the
what they don't
reach
expect.
around,
I don't know. I feel like Alliance are just running the show here, even if TSM can land their shots.
Yeah, it even pushing so
I think,
far away.
if
They're making sure.
Alliance
Look at the
wins
focus
this,
on
dude,
these players'
oh,
faces.
they're gonna be
Carnifex absolutely locked in.
something
It may look easy to us.
else.
They may be doing a good job, but they are not taking it for granted. Palma picks up Visions on the cross to A. That is an opening
can't
for them.
believe they
Apollo
wouldn't
being chased.
kill him.
Arco taking a couple stray shots. Totems being knocked away.
He
They're
was
just trying to
trying to be
delay them
killed
with
and they
2
wouldn't
down. They're
kill him,
continuing
dude.
to toy with them. Arco, the only one left. It's falling apart.
All
Oh
they need to do
nah,
is guard the
TSM,
totems
it's
as well.
bad right now.
Eventually, of course, the time will work against them, so they do decide to close this down. There's an opportunity for Vision to coin in at about 5
And I
seconds.
think they
If
were
the-
talking earlier with TSM.
And that is a long respawn timer being hit. 22 seconds. I don't know if they even have a chance here. Well,
20
They
seconds
don't.
to spawn, run to the cash out, and steal.
I don't think,
I appreciate that you think I'm as handsome as Artie.
I was sitting next to Artie for so much of yesterday.
So
it's kind
Alliance is the best
force of habit at this point, but we'll brush past that, Waltz. I'm sure you can forgive me. And yeah, well, TSM, of course, having to deal with the fact that now they've got to assault this position. It seems as though Alliance didn't need to bother with
TSM got embarrassed.
They decided to hold the point as deeply as possible, and now they have all of the stall, the goo, the flames. Look at this. Treason's in the mix, but he doesn't even need to be. Vision's trying to stick it, but he's toast, and the round is already over before I can even finish my sentence. Waltz! Alliance. They make it look easy sometimes, don't they?
Done and dusted. That was incredible work
Dude,
from Alliance. And I think that was such
a slaughter,
an interesting 2-0 to think about in comparison to the one we saw earlier between DRG and Secret, right? Because in some of the ones we saw dominance. But I think it was clear that like TSM are definitely, we saw TSM beat DRG.
They're a great team.
They're an incredible team, right? And so I think it just speaks to how good Alliance is. This was a win not of aim, not of like basic understanding of the game. This was a win of this deep macro knowledge. Alliance coming prepared with these detailed strats, stalling for ages for these players, finding every possible way to try and keep them from being in this game. There were basically 2 fights. There was basically 1 fight for every single cash out because they stalled them for so long it didn't matter.
There are very few teams that when you watch them, it feels as though they have the bird's eye view. And Alliance, that's what it's like. It's like we're watching them and we can't even comprehend their next move because they're so many steps ahead of us. It's just incredible. And that is, of course...
Is that goose eggs across the board?
No way.
TSM shut out! Has that happened in the major?
I don't think so. Not a single kill
Dude,
for TSM.
They never got out killed.
Triple goose egg in the major.
Wow.
Talk about dominance.
TSM fans silenced.
Oh my God.
But they shouldn't be. If there are any TSM fans out there, they need to make some noise right now. But it looks like Alliance are making the noise. There is nothing stopping this team. They have the fans with them as well. If you're at home, make sure you're giving love to whoever it is in chat. But at the moment, it's EU that are shouting the loudest. TSM, they've got to make it work here on Nozomi Citadel.
The pick from Alliance as well. It's going to be an uphill battle for TSM. Alliance, we saw what they can do on Bernal. What can they do on the map that they picked and prepared for?
Just a quick sidebar as well. TSM, do you know what map they picked as map 3 in this series?
Fortune Stadium.
Fortune Stadium. Alliance's stronghold. So that spoke to the confidence that they had coming into this series. I feel it may have taken a knock, but of course, here is where they want to build it back up. They can turn it on its head, flip the script, and take down the biggest EU side.
Try to finish this one little piece real quick.
They can maybe do it. That's
a
great winch. Lots of damage coming out from TSM, and they have the upper hand in this fight with a pick onto Arco, but that's going to stall them slightly. And somehow
literally saved his
TSM,
life.
despite all the damage, have lost a body.
They're playing so well in Alliance right now, staggering and balancing this damage between everyone. That speaks to the comms on this team. Making sure that your teammates know exactly where the enemy is. You can do damage and back away. You don't have to do anything else. You can make sure that they can follow up on you, and you can take the chance to regen. And now both teams, again, just posturing around this vault fight. Haven't even tapped it yet. They don't want to give up anything.
Yeah, and by tapping that vault, you give away information as well. That's the one thing. Treason. Oh, he's very alone. Does know, of course, where his teammates are.
Get him out of the way.
Very smart to give himself a bit of an exit. And of course, the gateway. Right there, the gateway. Very nicely donated by Carnifex to get themselves moving towards that vault. And now it's TSM on the offensive. They do manage to cross successfully with a smart invis and gateway. But Apollo caught on the other side. Palmer unleashes hell upon him. Visions gets the trade back onto the heavy. But it's a 2 versus 2 in favor of TSM now. Arco with
Alliance just got wiped.
Coming out. The 2-piece from the light on the side of TSM. And finally, TSM are off to the races.
They strike back, and they strike back hard, taking the first wipe on Alliance's map pick. Going to prove that they belong to be here. They made it to top 8. Do they deserve to be further?
This from his
Once that finally
we get to see
got a kill,
all of the shots landed, maximum value from this 93R and the finishing blows.
It would be nice to see a comeback, dude.
He gifted his team the gateway across. Apollo was just
I'm telling you, after that disrespect and not getting a single kill, dude,
of sandbag in that fight.
You have to do
for the other two, for
you have
Visions
to
and
switch up
Argo
your
to start
strats,
doing the
dude.
damage. But now they've gotten that timer started. What can Alliance do on the attack? Trying to find high here.
Alliance
And they
already
do manage
getting
to regroup downstairs after taking a bit of a glitch to their faces.
glitched already.
Make absolutely certain they can cross that very slim road, maybe a bit over
But they
cautious
can
there.
easily get a steal
They're
here
bringing you
because
up
they got
with them as
time,
well.
dude.
And Treason with the revolver, playing a different style than he did before, looking for those picks,
Going
especially
above.
on Arco, making sure to shut him down. They found TSM doing some damage, but all that damage quickly going to be healed up from both teams. Looking down upon them, dome shields from both heavies. A lot of utility being dropped in. Glitches there, but the jump from Apollo. Looking to do an RPG, but he's just going to get
That was
picked
not
off, and
the play.
Alliance is crumbling. They're going to get wiped again.
Incredible. We have to assume that RPG had massive impact
Wait,
there. It was a
how?
well set defense from TSM. We definitely saw the first damage coming out from Visions on the repeater
I thought
onto
TSM
Carnifex.
Lost somebody.
And
I
that
guess
just
not.
stalled Alliance on their push. Arco now positioning here. This is really smart from TSM. They've done their homework. This is the kind of macro play that we
Yes.
were not expecting from them, maybe a few months ago. But here, they have forced the spawn far away, just as Alliance were doing. And they've given themselves a lot of time to work with here. Well, in fact, no, the opposite. They've given Alliance no time to work with here. And that's the whole point. About 20 seconds left to try and steal this.
It will be a mad rush to the point for Alliance, but they're going to give it their best shot, pushing them into the corner, pushing them into this room. Treason doesn't have that DMAT. They have to get onto the roof to actually do something. Carney finds the heavy, dealing damage to Apollo, but he has to actually
he
reload.
was
He
almost
needs
done.
those bullets. He can't
time.
take care of him, but Treason is there to follow up. But Alliance cannot get the steal. They may be winning this fight right now, but they don't get this cash out.
He
didn't have-
left alive here. Maybe
He didn't have what it took to
Dashing
kill
out
him.
range of that witch and landing some damage, but Palmer places
Now
in
they
a
killed
deep
TSM. It
shot
doesn't even
perfectly
matter, though.
to clean up the light. But it's a cold comfort as TSM managed to grab their first
Get
cash
the kills,
of the
like, it doesn't
series.
even matter that they got the
Huge
kill.
boon, especially considering this was Alliance's mapping.
This looks like a different team, Jerry.
It really does. They're actually stepping up to Alliance's
dude,
level at this
swear.
point. Alliance haven't managed to get that macro
Dude, yeah.
control going in the same way that
Dude,
they
I
did on
swear
Banana.
it was literally
A-
their downfall by doing
Admittedly
that.
easier map to do that sort of thing on.
True.
Zomi, very well designed with these tall buildings, cutting off all the sight lines
Yeah, there's
always
no
having to-
replays. I've noticed that.
to, make your way to different locations on the map with plenty of cover in the middle of those long highways as well. So a
Alliance
bit more
not wasting
freedom.
any time in tapping this gate, too. No
That's true.
delays this time.
Yeah, and that's surprising that TSM have allowed them to do that. But, of course, they had suffered that wipe beforehand. We see some damage coming
Treason!
out. A huge witch onto Treason. I don't think he escapes with his life, and that is an RPG to secure it. But the back's turned. Alliance now left with only
Alliance is
Carnifex
getting-
left. And Arco will
Oh.
clean him up. It seems like TSM, once they get going in a team fight, they are not going to be stopped by Alliance.
Normally, Alliance so good about putting their gateways
I
in
ain't gonna
places
lie,
that you are
dude.
not
This
expecting
is
them to
the
be.
best
But
thing
TSM are
about,
waiting.
like,
Treason
Pro League.
jumping out of that gateway,
There's always
following
one
his heavy,
there's
and immediately
one,
getting
little
winched
guy, and there's
into
always
the
one
middle of
medium dude, and
TSM.
I'm
They have
telling
found their stride.
You can
Second
never
cash out started
run
for them. It could be a
a
reverse
normal
double
squad
cash
like
out.
this
Feels like we've seen a
in
number
a
of
normal game,
fair
even on
fights
rank, dude.
between
Someone's,
TSM and Alliance. And I have
we're
to
gonna
say
have two
TSM
littles, one
and they're not
medium,
dealing
two
with
mediums, maybe.
being
all
ferried around the
heavies,
map, being
one heavy.
puppeteered by the likes of Carnifex and his
It's just
gateways.
all mixed.
They actually come out on top in these brawls. They have the aim, they have the skills, the adaptability to make it work. But can Alliance step up to that? They need to improve that part of their game as well. We know they are capable. Treason, one of the greatest mediums out there. Carnifex and Palmer as well could easily lay claim to that title themselves for their respective classes. They need to back it up with results now. And
One
this is the
for a
place to do it.
steal.
Treason,
They're
steal being
letting
attempted and in fact being allowed by TSM to fall through. They do not have a good enough sightline, a good enough setup for this defense.
They didn't even punish anything. Normally, you
Oh,
allow that to go.
witch.
What are you doing? Apollo, he pushes too far forward. He finds himself in the middle of three. Alliance striking back with one, but
Oh.
could be quick to fall.
But he's
Carnifex
one shot.
has to back away. Takes a moment. He does get picked off by Arco. The light taking his compatriot out, but Treason brings his
They can
light
still
back
win this,
up. He's
though.
going to be back with low health, but they have to survive. Apollo, the last member left of TSM. If he gets found, it could be it for them. They need to find a way back in. There's not a lot of time tackling this cash out.
And they're playing with their food right
Okay,
there.
they lost
knew
that
the
one
2
cash
versus
out, but
one
they
that
can
Apollo
still-
had no chance. They're just delaying the inevitable there. And once again,
They can
Alliance
still come back.
making good on their macro knowledge. They knew that that steal was
Maybe.
available to them. Very few teams would read that situation, see 3 versus 3,
I don't
we can steal this, and then
think they-
hold in the
I
post.
I think they
had
were
the
waiting
bravery,
for
they
an
had the knowledge
opening,
to
but
pull that
the
off.
opening never
A
came.
little bit of a misstep from TSM, some mistakes
Yeah, he
slipping
missed
in.
there,
It
dude.
feels
That's
like,
tragic.
again, they find themselves at a disadvantage, but this time
You
it's
got
by
hit
their
there,
own
dude.
hand.
Yes, they.
Yeah, it's kinda
the
bad.
steal,
That
just
situation was
they
really
had the
bad.
chance to defend
It's
it.
a poor setup.
It was a poor setup. Then you need to make sure, especially when you don't have DMAT, you have to be so precise about how you defend these points.
This debris can cost you, and that's what they're learning here. And Apollo as well, diving in early, missing that winch, and then being picked off. Everything snowballed from their alliance will not let any sort of advantage slip. Vault 3 will be available by the time either team reaches it on, again, this side of the map, next to Data Center, but on the Citadel side. And now we have TSM actually getting inside the building. They can get the tap if they choose, but again, that gives away valuable intel. And instead, we've got a standoff across this room.
Off.
Yet
So
again,
TSM
one of
trying
these
to hold it
matches
down
starting
right
to slow
now.
down a little
They
bit.
don't
Last time
even-
Alliance got away with that vault very, very quickly.
They're
TSM
not even
not
starting
willing
it yet.
to let
They're
that
kind of just
happen once
waiting on
again.
time. There's 11 minutes left. Like, what are we doing?
But they did so well in their defense
Say,
the
bro,
first
they
time,
just let
forcing
them
those
steal.
spawns
That
and then
was
falling
poor.
down. We need
TSM, what
TSM
are
to
you
take a
doing,
deep
guys?
breath, reset.
I think
Alliance
TSM and manager
moving up
tell
this
Alliance
stairway.
to go easy.
They have to
this
know where they are.
round.
They spot the tip of it. Apollo takes a lot of health. He pushed us
I
a
don't
little
know
bit too
about
far,
all
put a nose out
that,
of line.
dude.
Damage immediately rehealed, but they have a moment to reset.
The sell because of that.
Carnifex already having taken damage as well. There's actually a lot of damage on the side of Alliance, but Palmer wins his one against Arco. That's huge. The light down, the hero player on the side of TSM who has so many moments.
$100,000 is
And
on the
Palmer
line, brother.
rises momentum forward. Carnifex and Treason close them
So
out.
Alliance
TSM mudded.
Has got it.
And Alliance take
But
control of
listen,
this vault.
don't
With the
count
potential
TSM
here to
out.
close this out in
It's
2
still-
games.
it hasn't even went to
Avoid
the
even
cash
going to
box
that
yet.
third. Gonna be over here to the CNS data center as they look to
I
try and
low-key-
close this
dude, I
match
think Alliance
out.
is a good team,
And this is
and
one
I
of those
think
points,
they would
Jerry.
go crazy
One of
in
those
other
points,
matches,
much like
and I do
Hospital,
wanna
much
see it,
like Sector 6
but I
on
don't
Fortune
want them to
Stadium.
beat TSM.
This is a tough
Because TSM,
abyss to cross.
I mean,
We
they're
know
the
how
underdogs right now.
decisive
So
final points can go. Everyone
I don't know.
being so careful, barely wanting to make a move. It seems as though, in fact, TSM are bucking that trend, closing the distance quickly.
So
but
quick.
this could be their last fight. They have to make it perfect. One cash out loss here, and they are eliminated. They take height and force Alliance back down, but Alliance will be ready for this. Look at this jump pad.
Homa.
that-
That's the TSM jump pad.
TSM jump pad. They can re-engage, but they're not going to bank on it. They're going to allow this steal to go through, in fact, and try to engage from above.
I thought they were going to chase after that, but now they're just going to allow this to
What?
happen. They have made Visions pay for it already.
So
TSM
now they're
losing
letting
a
them
lot of
steal
health
again.
for the price of that cash
That's
out.
risky,
Can they
dude.
survive? Apollo goes down. It's all on Arco and Visions. They have to put this in. A lot of damage being done, but it's only Arco remaining. Can he win this 1v1
No
against
way.
Carnifex with the others also there? They need to find
They're
him.
going
He
to
has to
stall
get
him.
away.
They're going to stall him as much as they can. No, Treason
No way,
doesn't
they
want to
just
toy
won.
with fate. He needs to get this steal. Wipes TSM and puts it down to one final team fight here to knock
one
TSM
final
out
team fight, dude.
and move
Someone said
further along
GGs.
in the
It
bracket.
ain't over yet, brother.
30 seconds that they're going to have to steal by the time they respawn.
Pretty much.
30 seconds to get there. That is the deciding
could
factor
do
between
one
TSM
thing
going
that can-
home right now.
Look at this setup. They're forcing
Come
the
on, let's see
spawns
something crazy,
over
dude.
onto the Via half of the map. And that's exactly what's happened. They've gooed off
They
these
have
jump
time.
pads, and TSM are about to discover
Oh,
that.
no.
They have prepared, though. They've got their own
the
jump pads.
glitch!
The glitch already out onto the light, really delaying the gateway across, and they have to take height instead. They cross the bridge, go straight across, and now 30 seconds left. But they don't know where Alliance are. Everyone is split up. I was in the room with you. No, Treason jumped off the open map. What happened there? An absolute throw from Treason. And Palmer's going to go down as well. What is happening? Carnifex now needs to hold in the 1 versus 3. Can he clutch up?
14.
He dashes into position. He needs to get the kill. Unleashing damage onto the
Oh my God, I told you. I told you.
Take it! And we're going to back
I
three.
told you.
Oh my God, TSM, it looked impossible. Everything was
my
against them in that
God,
last
dude.
push. But a fatal error from Treason,
Told
trapping
you.
himself in the corner, as well as from Palma, and a quick hole. TSM, what a play.
Alliance. What happened?
Insane, brother.
That is devastating.
Seconds left, play for the delay. He tried to be smart about it. He tried to be sneaky.
They're mad,
and instead,
dude.
he found
It's
himself
going to a
trapped
third
in
game right
the
now.
prison of his own making.
Well, they're not letting it show.
Brother.
But that is
the
going to
cell
rattle.
is
Alliance,
insane, dude.
as a team,
And they're-
needs
this
to
was
keep
their
it
own
together.
map, dude. That's what's
because that is the
was their
kind
own
of performance,
map.
the kind of moment that can flip the script and that can topple your run. The Alliance fans in the trenches right now having numb flashbacks to the moments that this has happened in the past, when they've been so close but had fatal errors, individual errors. It wasn't just one, it was the whole team fell apart there.
TSM, whatever visions or specters they were fighting
Well, they're
in their
visions
mind
right now.
that first match. They've clearly thrown
Dude,
it off
they
here.
could've-
They
they
did lose a
should've
couple
just
fights
stayed
to
with it.
Alliance.
They
This was
would've
a
won.
far closer match. The kill score closer, but you can see in that support score as well. Visions putting in absolute work this match.
Absolutely. TSM have stepped it up, and as we said, when they can take a fair fight, they are going to win it. They pounced on every single mistake that Alliance made that game.
It's anybody's game now,
They made
dude.
one too many. Going into map 3, TSM picking Fortune Stadium into Alliance, the Fortune Stadium team. That's bravery, that's cojones, and that's going to require the confidence that they've just
that's
acquired
cojones.
from that map win.
It is
Fortune
in earned
Stadium
confidence.
is a
We've
good
seen
map, but,
brilliance from them. We've seen,
I don't
even
think
just
I'd
in
be that great at
this
it.
series so far, we've seen them fall down. Alliance, show us why you are the Fortune Stadium team. Pull out these strats. Will this look like another Bernal? I certainly hope not, Jared.
For entertainment purposes, probably not, because Alliance, they make it look easy, they make it look simple. It's a very quick win often when they do ride that high, but TSM fans, of course, will want it to be a bit more gung-ho, a bit more brawly, and of course, end neutrals. They'll want a bit of a scrap, I can wager.
As often happens on Fortune Stadium,
All
the
right.
first couple fights are just seeing each other. With treason?
No.
Treason!
Not
treason!
again! What is happening?
This has happened before.
Well,
he's had this
it's okay.
happen before
It's
on
okay.
a Fortune Stadium map.
Yep. The good thing is, of course, Treason can
But Treason
be recovered
died
in
on
this
Alliance.
situation. It's not a dire situation. You're going to make a mistake in this map. That's the one to do it. Get it all out of your system
Right at the beginning.
right at the beginning.
No delays.
Mental
Swear.
reset still needed, though, it seems.
I
for
die
Alliance.
all the
And
time.
crucially, the cash
And I
out's
think
not spawning.
It's just
in
a good
Sector
way to
6.
see how the team is.
That does limit Alliance's control potential across the map. They'd love to be able to guard that kind of objective,
So
but now
TSM already
forced back into
going
this
for the
corner.
cash
Not many
out.
places to go, but they do have a gateway to gain ultimate
Oh,
life.
they're playing above.
They have plugged.
I don't like this
The
area.
Alliance just waiting beneath, doing some scouting, checking
this
to see if
section
there's
is gonna
maybe a
be
gateway left behind. They may well have found
tragic
that
for
on
them.
their journeys. And they decide that
They throw
perhaps
goo up there, fire.
a tap of that cash out is the way to go. They bring the team closer down. TSM forfeiting that top floor, that top building height, that rooftop,
Ooh,
and closing the distance.
Escape
Karma now
by-
rotating out into the open, where they can let the medium start to do some damage with these long-range weapons.
Two teams that do have a medium off in the support class, but these mediums love to do their damage. They
Carney.
love to work from range. Arco getting chased by Carney. He successfully escapes, but Alliance continuing to run out the timer here. Arco on the other side of the map now. They've successfully regrouped, looking
They
for
could
that
go
thing
for the
spot.
steal
Palma,
now.
They know where they are now. Again, TSM with the information advantage at
two
this
people
point.
hold it
Height.
down.
Palmer's
One
going in
person
for a wedge before they
try to
get
survive.
engaged. No, he can't find the opening in the wall at all.
They're gonna play
We're
above.
going to go for that
Oh,
steal.
the
That
timing
jump
is
may be
off.
poorly timed, unfortunately, for TSM.
Palma caught him.
Not successful, although winch fantastic.
Palma caught them on the backside. He was ready for that. He winched him and kept them from defending the cash out. But they do have to back away, unfortunately. Alliance could have stuck to that. I think they should have held.
Ooh,
TSM sort of built bunker here. There's a
they're just trying to stay
rather
alive
odd
at
line
this
in the
point.
sand draw. In fact, a
Everyone.
complete wall separating the cash out from the corner of the map. And Palmer with his trademark barricades,
Heavy.
tapping it once again. They don't have many
Going
more
for it.
fakes. They have to stick it for real at some point.
No!
Carnifex getting into a fight.
ball!
The kill from Carnifex.
No,
the claw
he
successful.
healed him.
Visions gets the trade onto Palmer, but the res is there.
Got the
The
heal
3
though.
versus 2 in favor of Alliance. The silence for Visions, though. He has the vision, and he does it.
Alliance got
Apollo,
wiped.
the 1 versus 1 now up against
They're not-
Carnifex. Can Carnifex empty that
Oh,
M11
1v1
back quickly enough? No,
against
it's
the
Apollo
heavy, dude.
with the shack defending the box. And TSM for the
With the
first time
heavy.
in this
That was
series are
unfair,
ahead
dude.
and on the brink of knocking Alliance out of the
Nice play,
major.
though.
TSM showing up when it matters. A winch missed there from Apollo, but he backed it
Dude.
up and got 2 kills. He didn't let it phase him. Alliance.
So look, I want TSM.
It was
to
just a
win
little
this
too long. They
because
didn't quite
of the
make it
disrespect
work.
that
The
happened
barricades were
earlier.
there, but the barricades do
I'm
not protect
telling
you from
I
above.
think everyone
Carnifex
thought TSM
quickly taking
was
down Arco,
done
but it
for
did not
after
matter
that.
at the end of the day.
And literally,
Alliance
they
really,
were done for the
pussyfooting
second
around
match.
that cash out
know
for
they
far
were, like,
too long, it
Holding
seemed.
their own,
Doing a
dude,
little
but
samba.
they
As
came
you
back
are right
within
now.
30
That's good.
seconds,
You could
dude.
dance.
And
Hey,
that's
you
what
know,
I mean,
was
look, I
gonna
wouldn't be
happen.
named Waltz if I couldn't dance.
Very true. And I wouldn't be named Jerry the Music Man if I
Like,
couldn't music.
with
That's true.
dude, as long as you 6 seconds
La.
to take the cash out, dude, anything can happen, dude.
There you go.
Literally.
That's my my debut. That
Time
was
is, like,
now
so
contractually
important on
obligated singing.
Yeah, that is worked into my contract. At one point, I had to do that. So I picked one of the most tense moments in the juncture to completely derail the cast. But here we are. Vault 2 tapped by Alliance here, and they take height in the corner of the map. TSM have actually rotated to the center here, to Sector 1, to try and shepherd Alliance. But we know how
So
Alliance
is getting
play
the
this. We know how
cash
good
out
they
right
are
now.
at managing the macro.
Flashbacks, trying to
This is their territory.
see where they go.
TSM setting up on this
maybe.
high ground. As you were calling out, Alliance has control of this right now.
They're
but
just
TSM
letting
making
them
sure that they are
run right now.
available to move wherever they need to. Crucially, Jerry, Sector 6 cash out is available. Teams want to be there.
Damn,
if
you
you
can't
can
even go
own that,
nowhere.
it could
They
just
done
give
blew
you the
everything.
win.
TSM know this. They are prioritizing guarding it, sitting on Sector 5 right now.
Yeah, so that they can't go to C,
You can
dude.
see Treason just eyeing up that gate
That was
pad
a
to cross
bad
as quickly
placement.
as possible over to A. TSM need to keep pace here.
They're going A.
Quickly rushing across to A. They
Oh,
knew
they
they were going
made
to
it
be late
there.
for this, but they can't be too late. They're on the low ground. The RPG does miss from Palma. A little bit of a late release from
That
him
is
on that one
tragic.
as TSM quickly scatter away.
Bit of tunnel vision there from TSM, just closing the distance, but not thinking about the position that they'll end up in. And now Alliance in a mighty spot.
As long
TSM
as they
have
can
managed to
keep
get
an
into the
eye on
building
the
at the very
cash
least,
out
looking
and
to climb
stay
the
above
stairs.
and stay
I don't
alive, dude,
think Alliance
they'll be
know
able to
about
get
it.
it.
They have a rough idea. There's a few staircases on this
And they have to
building
win the gunfights, but
that they can choose to go through. And Alliance are prepping to deal with either one
somebody
of them.
said place your
Trying
bets.
to rotate close to that
I mean,
box for now.
I
There's
think
so many options in the center of the
TSM
map. You
might
really
have
have an
it, but-
entire sandbox to play with here.
It's
Position can be really
honestly
important,
fair
but
game,
at
dude.
some
I
point,
can't
this
ever
fight
say
has to
who-
start. Apollo and Visions get engaging,
Unless it's just a
diving on
straight
top.
slaughter.
Out comes the Winston, it misses, but Palmer's is successful. They take
All right, so
down
TSM lost
Visions.
one.
That's a medium out, and you know what that means. No defib, no heals. As Cardiff takes out the rest of them as well.
They got wiped.
Huge plays from
Oh my
Alliance and a
God.
misstep from TSM. Once again punished. No team can afford to make mistakes in this
once
matchup.
the TSM will clutch.
And I'm glad you called it
They're
earlier because
wiped right
Carnifex
now,
running
but-
that M11, it really shows that they are going to be playing so close, this brawling meta that they want to force onto TSM. So often TSM are happy to sit far away, use the aim that they brought in
It doesn't
from other
matter,
games,
though,
but they're
because
not
it's
allowed
gonna
to
be a
do
tie
so
game right
here.
Yeah, Carney's playing.
You say,
close
here
to
we
Palmer
go,
a lot of the time, which is
Alliance.
notable. He's playing off the winch. All three of them are. And that's why you
Alliance
run the
is
M11.
pretty
You want to
good,
be able
though,
to
too. They're like
just
crazy.
mag dump as quickly
with,
as possible,
with their
even the
game.
chaos. You know, otherwise you run the ARN, you run the 93R, as Visions is doing.
That first match was
as Arco is doing, for instance, right now.
that second match was insane though.
Revolver looking to try and open up the play with a couple of shots at the start. But I think right now the time has been managed so well by Alliance.
no.
Apollo reaches it. It's not a fantastic position, but he gets it still going.
They have to get this right now. If Alliance give this up, they are eliminated. They have to keep hold of this. Once down, this could be crucial. There's enough time left. Can they hold on to this Carnifex? He's going away.
Yes,
The
I'm
timer
getting
is
it.
ticking. They're not able to do it. A
No
Carnifex with a
way. They
triple
almost
kill
won.
to keep his tournament alive.
He didn't even need
Alliance.
to do that, but holy, he was ready for any
They did
situation.
it.
Carnifex
Someone
going
said,
nuclear
"Thank fuck."
on
Oh my god.
Fortune Stadium.
That's crazy.
And now it's almost as if it was scripted. One cash out to decide it between these
That
two
could have been
sides. It's
bad,
been a
dude.
much closer series
For
than
Alliance.
last night. And thank God for that, because really, Alliance
But
swept
look,
TSM
either
aside
way, it
in
doesn't
that last best
matter.
of three.
Like I
Look
said,
at this, though. Positioning by Alliance.
because it didn't go through. but
Forcing the spawn, or
TSM would've
benefiting
won
from
that.
a horrific spawn here for TSM over in Sector 6.
They may honestly just want to sit there until Alliance move.
They don't know. Alliance don't know where
So
this
this is the moment, dog, right here.
Right, they're scouting.
The deciding
They don't
factor.
know. This could be very
TSM
this
probably
could
don't
be
need.
great for TSM.
This is smart by TSM. They're not even letting them know.
Don't show up.
Don't
Don't
show
do
up.
anything. Force Alliance to be the ones guessing this time.
Yeah, as soon as TSM
Yes, that's
lets
smart.
Alliance know that they have spawned here, then Alliance can lock them out of the game.
Info is key. Info is everything in this game.
They're just waiting. They're forcing Alliance to make the first move. This could be one of the most tense standoffs. This has everything about this situation.
They don't know where they're
paints
at.
to the picture that the next 2 minutes could be
TSM
a really
is
slow
playing
2
it
minutes unless
smart
Alliance
right
just
now.
get on with it, which is not their modus operandi. But Palmer is
Yeah.
closing the distance on that cash out, and all it will take is one gateway. Carnifex,
Because they know that if the spawn, they clearly are uncertain. If the spawn was in Sector 6 and Alliance jumped that way, they may hand TSM that vault on a silver platter.
They may have realized it now. They may have realized that the reason TSM aren't showing up is because they don't want to show up. So there we go. And that is the signal for TSM.
And now they're making their
they
move,
just
dude.
do not want to fight in that part of the map, and understandably so. They will now close over to the far more balanced, the far more dynamic map portion.
He almost got the kill.
Dome goes out. Winch missed
Arco,
by Palmer, and this damage is not working in their favor, but Apollo does go down at the hands of next. Vision takes it out. Perfect with another
Alliance.
onto Apollo. This light cannot be stopped.
Wiped him.
Alliance, the patience was there.
Here
and TSM
we
taking
go,
far too
dude.
directive a route. I think you're right. I think Alliance sussed that out. They figured out exactly where TSM were, and I would have wanted them to take maybe not the exposed route, because the second that Arco hits that jump pad, trying to get a gateway for his team, Toma drops. He says, I will take you in the room. I will take you up close. You cannot get away from me.
TSM have one more bite of the cherry here. Reminder, whoever takes this cash out progresses. Whoever doesn't is eliminated. The stakes could not be higher right now.
It's right here,
For
brother.
one of these teams, only a minute remains in their grand major tournament.
1 minute.
That's it. Early jump pad to gain height. They want to get into the top floor of this building. Don't want to worry about any staircase climbing. They don't have time
That
for
was
that.
so clutch of a
Give away
player
their
there.
location very easily if they do
The
so.
gateways.
Alliance,
Oh
40
my
seconds
God.
or so to kite away from this point. They need to be careful. They cannot slip up. Moments on the Zomi Citadel flashing through their mind right now. An early C4.
Broke it and
Winch foul
dragged
position
it.
now. TSM have a decent spot here. That goo is massive. The steal could go ahead. A second goo.
Oh,
Palmer
no.
doesn't have a sideline, but the kills come out for TSM. Alliance.
TSM's
in the
getting it.
moment. Treason needs to close them down, but he can't. He's being picked off at range, and the steal is inevitable.
Oh
TSM,
my God.
they've done
TSM won it.
Treason has no chance.
No health remaining, no time.
Alliance are out of it. TSM make it
TSM.
through. Unbelievable scenes.
With the
Once
last
again,
minute clutch
Alliance
yet again, dude.
falling at the final hurdle.
Holy.
A heartbreaker of a match. It's heartbreaking.
Wow. But a thought for TSM.
Lose
Look at what
to
it
a
means to them.
Dookie that looks
They've
like
gone
that,
through
brother.
hell
Oh
to
my
get
God.
here.
What a comeback from that first.
Let's have some appreciation
Incredible
for these guys.
Yeah,
who
think about it.
arrived
They never
on
got
the
a
last
single
possible
kill
plane.
in that first game, too.
Had virtually no time to prepare. Late to the party of the finals, late to the grand finals almost. And they've done it. They flipped the script here.
They flipped it. And that last cash out, TSM with the goop placement, the perfect angle denials there.
Placement,
Feeling a cash
right?
out that I thought they would never make it to.
I cannot believe what we're witnessing. NA supremacy is coming to fruition as
Okay, I wouldn't have said
Alliance,
supremacy,
they fall
brother.
flat. A lot thanks to the fact that Treason fell off the map 2 times. Treason lost to gravity. That was just enough to change the most crucial team fights in the finals history. This is a historic moment.
Oh, without a doubt. I really was feeling Alliance had the energy going into that first map. They seemed to completely control it. Remind everybody that we had 3 goose eggs from TSM. They got no kills. So it seemed so promising for Alliance. And somehow, in the next 2 maps, they completely fumbled it.
I mean, let's just talk about the fact that right after that,
They didn't even
TSM
fumble,
realized
dude.
they needed to
They didn't even
wake
fumble, dude.
up.
It's just
they
that
did everything
TSM had the better
that they
end game,
could,
dude.
playing for the perfect
Like, their last
steals,
minute planning
the
is what
perfect
won them
timing,
the
and
game, dude.
Sotoyo. I mean, map 3, everything was going wrong for Alliance at the end. It was their cash out in hospital. They had no chance to go there because the spawn for TSM.
Yeah, TSM had an amazing spawn over on Sector 6, and they had a great macro decision to just sit tight, let Alliance suss them out, and rotate to the other box, because they knew if they lost one fight there, they would have been spawn camped over and over and over again. It would have been almost impossible to get that over on Sector 6. First fight, making the long trek to the other side of the map, taking an easy rotation. Don't want to take any entry damage, and they played it perfectly.
Yeah, they tried to come back. I mean, you remember that 3K from Carney on the second cash out, but I mean, Rio, this is insane. The top-rated team in EU the first EU team to be knocked out in the final 8.
Yeah, and I am basically speechless for it because they seemed so strong. Everybody was really hoping that we would have an EU team like Alliance make it through at least into the final 4, but
they didn't.
Not so far.
Wow. Truly one of the most insane series I have ever seen in the finals.
Yeah, exactly. And TSM, like we said, looking very rough, but they're a team of adaptation. They've been to LAN before. I know Carney has as well, some of the Alliance members, but I mean, TSM has been stoic for the entire time. And honestly, this is the first time I think I've seen them pop off.
And remember, these are the newest contestants in the arena.
Yeah.
Alliance has been here for so long. TSM, with the fewest hours, just knocked them out. I need to know more. I need to know who Oscar's speaking to out of the stage here at DreamHack Stockholm in the wake of this event.
Well, I am, of course, back at DreamHack with none other than TSM.
Why Arca?
Now, you were here on stage. It feels like maybe just 10 ago. We had a bit of a losers interview going. We walked off stage and I said, when we talk next time, is it a winners interview? And you said, yes. And I feel like you kind of delivered on that.
Yeah, we won, so yeah.
We were talking about how when you got through this game, if you were to win it, you were heading to cash out. And I said, no one wants to play cash out. And you guys said, I'd like to play more cash out. How are you feeling now heading into it?
I mean, cash out's always fun. Everybody left is a great team. So when it's 4 great teams in a cash out, it's just a fun game.
It's just a fun game. And talk about the first game we saw just now. So if you eliminate other players, you get kills.
Yeah, brother, what happened?
You didn't really do that game. What happened?
So I thought we were playing terminal attack.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, get your mind straight. Get ready for cash out. TSM, everybody!
I thought they were playing terminal attack. Okay, this man's funny.
The day is just starting. We're like not even halfway through. It's been the most electric day so far. The games are going crazy. Don't go anywhere. We're way more to go after this break.
Dude, that was the comeback of the century, by the way, dude. Holy. Comeback of the century, brother. Ooh, this song sound tough. See where people said, "Wait, don't underestimate your enemy. Easy mistakes of game mode." Oscar's such a troll. No, he is a troll for that. If he's talking about, oh boy, Alma overconfident.
Well, I think it's safe to say the viewers miss my voice.
The Chinals.
Only your voice?
The Chinals
What can I
is
say, Drew?
crazy instead
It's
of the finals.
soothing.
Nightmare is still at least someone to root for, so yeah, Nightmare will be. And then there will be a review song. GG Alliance, dude. Yeah, dude, they're going home. That is tragic. Blaze or Ballas. I think he meant Blaze, or I don't know, maybe. Hopefully, Light gets a new weapon. I think they should do something with. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. How can I participate next time? Scotty! SSG made it to the finals, dog, and then you have TSM that just made it to the finals, brother. They're still there, so. Yeah. Carnifex was trying pretty hard that match. Shame they couldn't lock down the last cash out. Brother, It is what it is. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted TSM to win, and they did. But I am telling you, Alliance was doing so good, I'm surprised they didn't. You know what I mean? It is almost a shame that they didn't. Because they were doing good majority of the games. They've literally, think about it, they literally only lost because of last minute steals. That's the craziest part about it all. That's actually crazy. Crazy to think about, Don. Is this some like Zelda type beat right now? Yo, so while this timer's going, I've just been drawing on this, trying to finish on this artwork, and it's coming together, Buster. I could be like, technically, I could do this. How about where you can see like what I'm working on in a way. That. While we were waiting, I could have done this. This be groovy, brother. Alright, start back up. I need to blend this red a little more, though. Get to blending.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Finals Grand Major 2025 here at DreamHack Stockholm. My name's Artie. I'm here with Rio and Sotsoyo. We just witnessed history as the first team punched their ticket all the way to the top four. The first team who has to buy their plane tickets home, well, it'll be a cheaper ticket. They're here in EU. Alliance is gone. So, DSM, they're still in it, but they have not qualified yet. But we're not done with the groups just yet. We've got one more group left for today. Let's take a look at our Group A. We just saw at the very top of the day, the very last team to qualify, that of course being Team
Secret. What is this, 3 days long or something?
We're going to be seeing Nightmare,
I don't
Kansas
think it
City
should be 3
Pioneers,
days long,
and
it's crazy.
Fnatic. It's 2 NA and 2 EU, Rio.
Oh my God. I mean, this is EU's last chance to get in there, get in the top 4, and really show us that EU can contend with NA.
Yeah, exactly. And these 4 teams are amazing. We do have that one. Everyone's been talking about them, as well as, I mean, you know how good KCP can be. When they show up, they can get that momentum through and through, and they're great at cash out. I'm curious to see if we see a little bit more of a target on Nightmare's back.
That is possible. I mean, this is cash out, and that has happened before. But the number one thing that I want to point out here is that throughout the Grand Major, the EU teams have had a slightly tougher run of it. Of course, our elimination bracket being kind of jokingly referred to as the EMEA bracket, given the fact that that's where all the EMEA teams ended up. One thing to consider, Nightmare, they were able to come out and qualify in their group stage. KCP coming out and qualifying in their group stage. But for Team Secret and Fnatic, they had to get here the long way.
Oh, yeah, the long way. They had to survive elimination matches, and they basically had to show that they proved that they can get it into this match here today. So they have a lot to show, a lot to make, and a lot to prove.
I mean, there is.
I do love the way
of
that
if
is set
these
up, though,
teams
because
are
it
gonna be
literally gives you a
feeling more
chance
warm
to
because they played
survive,
more
which
matches,
is
or at the
really
same
good.
time, KCP and Nightmare, they're just feeling more confident. I know that there is a couple of people that think that, well, Nightmare is going to be remaining as confident as they are. Let's check in with my old boy, my old gal, Scotty and June, see what they have to say about the old Nightmare.
And here they come. Uni, Gremlin, and Lasagna, a deadly combo.
The kind of lineup that gives the other teams, well, nightmares.
Especially if Uni's dialed in.
I remember when June and I would just constantly make puns to each other. And then I remember when Scotty would just eat lasagna. Either way, we're looking at this now at Nightmare versus King
What
Zero.
the heck
What
did he just
a
say,
fun
brother?
match to watch this was. I mean, this was where we had seen inklings of just that insane Nightmare success, but we were almost convinced that like the APAC teams had a leg to stand on, but Nightmare, they just did it so convincingly, Sensayo.
Yeah, Nightmare is a dominant and extremely consistent team. They've had an amazing run, not only in PHL, Ape Squad Worlds, all those amazing tournaments, but also close qualifiers. I can't say enough about their consistency.
I remember distinctly when Uni was just at the top of the Angibo building. I already said that one earlier, but there's so many clips of Uni out there. I mean, he is Mr. M11 as well. And so this is going to be just explosive, especially when we get into cash out. I mean, but at the same time, we talk about all of these teams for all of their fantastical abilities. Let's take a look at the maps, though, because maps are important to consider. Team Secret vetoing Skyway Stadium, Fnatic vetoing Seoul, Kansas City Pioneers, no Monaco. Nightmare says no to Bernal. Nozomi Citadel. I thought we were going to get Sister Horizon for a second. I have a little bit, maybe PTSD from that from yesterday. Nozomi Citadel, cash out. This is going to be fun. I love cash out on this map.
I swear, if we
best
go
of one to qualify,
to Sis
it's gonna be on
Horizon
Nozomi
again,
Citadel, and the very opening match of the elimination best of 3 following this is going to be on that map. This is going to be chaos. All of these teams love Nozomi Citadel.
Well, in Nozomi Citadel, that has a lot of chaos in it.
Dude,
There's
they
a
need
lot
to
of
introduce
really
a new
cool
map, dude.
corners,
That's what
and
they
on
need
top
to
of
do.
it, it can crumble in some really unique ways. So it just adds to the whole overall chaos of when you start to go in there.
Not to mention the fact that if you get into a vault fight in admin around those jump pads, if a team decides to run something other than the dash, they decide to go for that invis, they're not going to be able to use that jump pad. Talk about also what we already saw earlier today on Nozomi Citadel, where when you have to jump across that gap on Cyber Cafe, it can just be so difficult. There's a lot on the line for these teams here, and honestly, I feel like after watching the Alliance versus TSM match, these teams have to be feeling explosive. And I don't know, so Toyo, I have to ask you, do you think that there's a little bit of EU pride maybe that they're feeling to try to be the last one standing in their region?
Well, I'm glad you brought up EU. I mean, they're definitely feeling the pressure, definitely feeling pretty good about today's game. We do have Fnatic as well as Team Secret being our standout teams in this lobby. I'd like to talk a little bit about Fnatic, though, because I know their practice, they love tech and they have tons of documents mapping out spawns, everything, and strategy. So I've talked with Ramkey a little bit about that, and he is locked and loaded on how to set up his defenses and how to spread out.
Well, it's a good thing he's been mapping out spawns. Spawns is right there. I see him on my screen. But yeah, this is genuinely real. Going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I couldn't have asked for 4 more teams to go in it in one cash-out match. It's going to be explosive. I don't even know who to predict will be in the top 2.
I don't know. I'm hoping the Team Secret does well. I'm hoping Fnatic does well. Just want to see you do well. But I know for a fact in my heart, this squad right here, Nightmare, is going to be up at the top. I just know it. I think that for Fnatic, cash out has been a little bit of a sore spot for them. We have so many clips of Nagiri talking about cash out as if it is a little bit of luck. I don't believe that it is, but Nightmare, they know it's skill. And there's another couple of people with skill here in the arena. That is Jerry. That is Waltz. They're going to talk you through. It's cash out time.
Thank you, Artie. You know,
right,
Jerry, it's hard to be a biased caster when every single one of these teams is some of my favorite teams in the entire game, players that have been around since day one. I can't think of a more perfect perfect match for them being
And they're
here at the
starting.
Grand Major top 8.
Goodness gracious,
here
dude.
on
Every
Nozomi
time I'm
Citadel.
trying to do something.
Just to set the stage, all these players we know and love. As you mentioned, Brendy's the only player in the lobby with a less than 1.0 KD. Everyone here can frag out of their mind. Nigiri starts it off with a team kill using a gateway. That is not the frag we were expecting. Rainker going down. But of course, he's brought back up. Now the fight we're watching, Nightmare between Nightmare and KCP, going the way of KCP.
What am I
Lava
missing?
brings
It
out the
sounds crazy.
sledgehammer. Uni trying to fight back, hitting Brendy, but he's under the
Uni!
cross, closing him down. Uni manages to get the 2-piece. Can he make it 3?
Looking for that fight. He might get the frag on him. He found the angle, but Spawns keeping alive for the moment. Bit of a standoff between these two. He sees him. He spotted that. He ran with it. Uni might try to punish this. He spots him in the entryway, looking for the kills. All the shots are missing right now. Both lights finding them.
Oh, nah, dude.
Takes them down.
Spawns with the shots to the head of Uni. That is what you want to see. The light stepping up, possibly the least storied light amongst all of these. But he's
Dude,
really
all this talk
stepping up
about
the
Nightmare,
stage
dude.
here.
I'm telling you,
Here we
it's
go now.
almost like
Fight
bad
between
luck.
Team Secret and Fnatic on the far side. EU versus EU. It's
Dragged him
out,
down,
comes the
almost
shot,
killed him,
but
he got
down
him.
in a heap at the hands of Rainkid, who comes back from that dead position inside of his own teammate's gateway to rain havoc. Fnatic on top there with the wipe. Nigiri closing down the final kill, and Elix sacrificing himself to the gods.
I wondered if we were going to see NA playing against
They're knocking
EU
it
here,
over.
but that is NA on NA action right now. Again, KCP
Pretty good,
taking
though.
on Nightmare.
Harder
The
to steal.
regional friends continuing to focus each other. Gremlin, the only one left alive, but he's going to be able to go ahead and get this. KCP, Llama carrying that vault. He wants to get this plug. Fnatic continue to sit on their cash out. About a third elapsed over there, and I imagine that we are going to see a quickly pushed by Team Secret over on the B site.
KCP moving this box out into the open. Of course, they have Llama to demolish, renovate, whatever they choose. Sticking with this hammer this deep into the tournament, it's not just a niche pick here. Well, I mean, it is a niche pick here. It's not just a fad. It's the only one that's managed to make it this far with a May supporting. Team Secret looking to engage with a jump pad up to the top floor onto Fnatic. Do they expect it?
Oh, I think Fnatic have seen it. They weren't able to do anything about it, but they are aware. OG taking a little bit of damage from that C4. Both teams just playing in a circle right now, not wanting to take the first step and get out of line.
Fnatic have backed off, but we also have up above Nightmare have decided to join the fray. 3 teams here as Nigiri finds the opening pick onto Roman. That's the light on Team Secret down for the count. Gremlin finding an opportunity to try to stick this steal.
Played
It
from
gets
the
dropped
bottom.
a further layer, about 20
It's gonna
seconds
go
left for
all the
any
way
one
to
of
the
these
bottom,
teams to
dude,
do
right
it.
now.
Fnatic still holding on to it, but Rainker about to go down. He is eliminated. No winch in play. That's massive. A huge nerf to the defenses of Fnatic on this hold here. And the heals come
Fnatic
in,
held
but
it
Team
down,
Secret
though.
come in. This is basically
Everybody's
doing a
fighting.
favor
No one's
to
getting the steal.
Fnatic here, but they're actually going for the steal themselves. OG, he can't hold it though. Nakos with 2
Ooh,
crucial kills.
it don't
on
even
Team
matter,
Secret
they got
getting the
it.
white. The money goes Fnatic's way. Rainker is
Fnatic-
back from the dead, fighting against the 2 players of
Oh, wow.
Nightmare, but he's done the hard work.
Nagos against 2 teams, getting those kills allows them to hold on to it. And with the timer quickly running out, I think KCP is going to get a free cash out on the other side of the map.
That is
They look
crazy.
so
They're the-
dapper in their Stetsons.
that is a
They
free
do.
cash out. 'cause
Almost makes
no
you wanna
one's
put on
going
a
for it.
southern
That's actually
growl.
crazy.
That's quite a good one.
Oh, sometimes it works.
Mighty fine, you might say.
In case of the pioneers, you see, they get the money.
All right. Second wave of cash outs about to start then as
Yes,
KCP
guys.
get that one for free. Lasagna getting an early pick onto OG before any of these vaults can be initiated. Fnatic holding height here, waiting for the entry of Nightmare. And they're going to close that gap. The RPG just a little bit delayed there. Hey, held too late, but the winch is good. And it
Oh,
traps
missing.
Gremlin. But maybe sometimes Gremlin is trapped there and you with him. I've lost my brain.
A quick Nightmare continuing to lose their health, continuing to lose their members the same way Jerry is losing his mind. This game continues to deliver in every facet. Teams at the top of their game right now.
Oh,
Uni getting picked
brother.
off. Nagos is on an absolute tear across this match. Winning that vault fight, they're going to be able to go ahead and get a quick plug in a moment.
Team Secret sitting on top of C now, but they've got Fnatic right on their tail. Again, this EU versus EU standoff. You know, in my heart, I hope both of them make it through somehow, some way, but the fact that they are the last teams remaining in EU after Alliance's elimination just spells that they're going to be really vying for that spot. One of those 3 remaining spots in the grand final.
And with the standings as it is, they could be in a position where both EU teams are prepped to go forward. A winch in from there, Llama
buddy.
and Spawns. Dual teaming on Gremlin, able to go ahead and take him out. Goo blocks that off. KCP with power play against Nightmare right now. They've struggled in cash out so far. Nightmare have improved so much on it, but they're getting run ragged right now. Uni, the dump from Brendy. He has to hit the shots. He's missing everything. You cannot do this, Uni. He has to. Llama on the way down. He takes him with him.
Llama credited with his own kill, an icon in the kill feed that you very rarely see because he destroyed the floor beneath him.
And that was a wipe from them. So now we're going to get that point. But here over on the other side, OG hit Aramki, hitting that RPG, pushing into Team Secret. A lot of deaths coming out from both sides. OG, the one down for Team Secret. Looking for that res. They're back up on top, but they're getting pushed aggressively by Fnatic, not willing to let this go without a fight.
As it stands, we're set up for a crazy final wave, but
Fnatic
are getting the steal going here. Secret looking to defend. That glitch is massive, denies the zone, but the steal is successful. OG gets the kill onto the gear with the light down. Rainker trades it out. Both lights out for the count between Fnatic and Secret here. The medium's looking to get their reses with 15 seconds or 30 seconds or so left. KCP coming in to ruin the party. OG can't take the steal as he's forced off by Fnatic. They're holding this yet again. Their defense has been so strong. Rainker gets up. He's almost eliminated. Taken out there by Spawns. Do KCP have it in there for a last minute steal? They're holding on to it. They actually survived the drop. But no, Brendy now has a chance to try and stick it. Is there enough time? He's being healed up by Brendy. Llama, are you going to do it?
No
Fnatic keep hold of the cash.
A matter of milliseconds had to have separated that from being a steal. KCP almost timing the third party to perfection.
That's crazy.
But Fnatic, even though they wiped, happy to be sitting on top of this lobby right now. It could have been yet another situation where we're looking at a kill race. But at this point in time, with Secret sitting in fourth place, they are up against the wall.
Everyone on Nightmare holding across in data center. They have control of that fifth vault. Number 6
let's
right
go
underneath
Nightmare.
KCP. They'll look to get it tapped as soon as possible. They need some say what's going
not
on
by
in these
much
final
though.
seconds. Vault 5 already in transit by Nightmare. They're going to get that started. Virtually uncontested, it seems. No, Fnatic having managed to position themselves up here. Nakos holding from and Fnatic guarding that cash out. They are in first. They do not want a split objective here. They want it to be doubled, or they want one of these cash boxes to despawn. This is the one that they decided to take control of.
Gremlin trying to find his way in. They're being harried as they move across this point. Nagos again getting these picks with that F card. Not something we see very often. He's putting it to good work.
No way.
Looking to do this to Gremlin. Gremlin is gone.
Incredible
he
heals from
lived,
Nagiri
these
coming out.
guys are
Hate
going
plus
crazy
Infuser
right now.
keeping Rainker alive just long enough. On the other side, Enix hits a 3-piece, no, a 2-piece with the res, and that's a wipe onto KCP as they can get
Team
nothing
Secret trying to
started.
come back. Dude.
EU's on top.
Where's the objective?
Where's the objective? It's
Rainker
across the map. They haven't plugged to Fnatic have it. They just want to run away with it. The cash out started for Secret, and Fnatic said, we're happy with this. We know we can't lose. Just get rid of the vault. Meanwhile, Secret on the other end of the map, I don't know that anybody's going to be able to take this away from them. Secret have to hold on to this now. They could put themselves in a position where both EU teams will take this cash out.
Only 30 seconds left before that box key spawn, so you can assume that this is just going to be a single cash out on this final point. Anyone could go through with the money as it stands. Fnatic are virtually secured, though. It's a three-way tussle. It's going to be a quick catch for the final minute.
They almost pulled that
got it
cash
in
out
there.
through the wall. That would have been an incredible winch. One of the best plays I've ever seen, but they're able to do it. OG drops in. They're trying to heal him up. Nightmare, they still have all three up. They're so close to this steal. They need to get this soon. Already 2 dead
Throw
for
it down.
Secret. Alex is the only one left. Their hopes of progression are slipping away. Lasagna looking for the steal, but here come KCP. The sledge from Llama pushing in onto Gremlin. Gremlin, Lasagna is dead. It's all on Uni now. They don't have the steal. It's still in Secret's hands.
Fnatic have shown up. Well, what are Fnatic doing here? They're having a say in it. They don't know. I don't know. They have plans. They want someone to go through. We don't know who. The steal is being
come with the steal,
by
they
KCP.
got it.
It's successful. Llama holds on to it. 30 seconds left. But OG back from the dead to wipe out KCP. Only Spawns left. Can Secret do it? They do it. KCP wiped out. They're going to come last. What's happening, Wolves?
Secret, they have this steal. They're holding on to it right now. The barricades are down. There's the healing coming through. Secret, they get this last minute. They steal it back. They reclaim their prize with 9 seconds left.
Crazy.
They punch their ticket through. EU on top.
What a game! Team Secret and Fnatic coming out on top. There will be a European side in the grand final. One of these two teams is going to book their spot in that top 4.
And Jerry, there's one person that is absolutely thrilled about those last few seconds. And I know Artie is just absolutely crying with happiness right now.
I have a lot of emotions, but the number one emotion I have right now is EU pride, which is strange to say given the passport that I hold. I need to say that seeing Fnatic and Team Secret come through here, both of these teams I have very close ties to. Rainkeep formerly being part of Aimers with Team Secret, now on Fnatic, and both of them going this far all the way up. We are guaranteed one EU team in the top 4 for the Heats. And at the very end, how poetic. Where Fnatic, they were guaranteed no matter what, as long as they didn't wipe. When they showed up to that fight and they saw Team Secret stealing, they decided to not get involved. They decided to let it happen. And for KCP, that spelled defeat. KCP and Nightmare, they're going to have to go at it in a best of 3 later on. But for now, we're about to witness history.
Yes, we are. And honestly, that entire matchup was insane. The energy in here was off the charts. And one thing that I really noticed was there were a ton of wipes. The cash was really close for the entirety of that match, and it was anybody's game. Team Secret was on the bottom until the very last 10 seconds. And that's what we mean when cash out is anybody's game. It was just truly a nail biter, and I loved every second of it.
That's cash out, baby.
Yeah, and for Fnatic, we touched on a little bit about the last second steal that Team Secret had. I do believe that Fnatic wants to fight up against someone that they have scrimmed time and time again. Would you rather face the familiar matchup, or do you want to take on Nightmare or KCP? Honestly, if I'm Fnatic, I take KCP or Team Secret. Those are the familiar faces. Do you want to fight one of the top teams in NA in that 3v3? I think they're going to have a good shot for both teams in this EU matchup.
Absolutely. Well, to get some more information on that, we'll ask a little bit to them. Oscar is with KCP on the stage.
Welcome back to DreamHack Stockholm. I'm live with none other than KCP Renner!
Kansas City
Pioneers. You know, we can talk about the games, but I want to start in another direction. Can we talk about the drip for a second? What are we rocking here?
We're rocking some Jordan 1s with our new KCP jersey with some baggy pants and the KCP bling, baby.
There it is. But also, I think to me personally, the star of the show, it's got to be the mustache, man. Talk me through that.
What's up?
How do you get that mustache going?
Oh, I just keep growing it, bro. Every day, just a new couple slides on it, make sure it's good to go.
You're going to have to teach me afterwards. I haven't been growing a mustache since I turned 16. They keep saying it's going to come in, but I'm in my 30s and I'm starting to bald, so I think it's over. Anyways, heading into a 3v3 next. How's that feeling?
A little nervous, but you know, we're gonna do what we got to do. We're gonna come through and play hard.
Gonna come through, gonna play hard. You're heading up against Nightmare, another NA team. You know, how's that feel? You know, it's a rivalry, it's a friendship. Are we breaking hearts? What's going on?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of it's gonna be a little cluster of not good stuff. So we'll see how that one goes.
But who's coming out on top?
Oh, KCP's coming out on top of that.
There it is. You heard it from Brendan. With that, you know, another game's coming up. Back to the studio.
Why would you even ask him that, dude?
Thank you so much. Great stuff there, Oscar. Absolutely incredible.
Was he supposed to admit?
Now, this is a best of one.
Nightmare, of course.
Final round on Nozomi Citadel. It's going to be Team Secret versus Fnatic. This is a great moment for EU, as just moments ago, we were thinking about the fact that, well, there's a chance that we are in an EU tournament with no EU teams. But now we're guaranteed to have one at the very end. We'll see which one it is that can represent.
That is
tragic. I am excited to find out. And just the idea that we get one of them going in, it's awesome.
Tragic,
absolutely.
Though.
It's incredibly awesome.
Being Stockholm,
so are Jerry
no
and
EU
Walt
teams.
for this historic
Final round.
Finals.
Thank you, Artie.
The
We are going to
finals.
see at least one EU team in the Final Four. Secret fumbled the last time in PHL champs. They weren't able to make the Final Four. They have a chance here. But Fnatic, it's up-and-comers, not in the pro scene for months. They took a long break at the start of the year. Can they prove that they would have been the top dogs the whole time?
They really found something that just worked. This roster really clicks. And I love the sort of diametrically opposed mediums on these two sides. Nago's one of the fraggiest out there. And Alex, as I mentioned yesterday, almost proudly wearing the sort of high assist count on his chest. And, mostly leaving the kills up to Roma and OG. And here we are already. Data center control established by Fnatic. And this is where we can certainly see, Nakos do his work, so much so that Rainker doesn't really have a job at this moment in time.
He's an absolute beast with this F-car. We do not see this weapon a lot anymore. It's Famas all day. But he's not going to give up on this. When the going gets tough, when you're down to the wire, you go back to what you're comfortable with. You go back to what you need.
Yeah. And like I said, OG's just Rainker's just just sitting there emoting for the time being because he's waiting for the call from Nagos, from Nigiri. The light, they'll get that moving with Rainker, in fact, as they ferry him across. Secret opting to just control the center of the map as it stands. Of course, they're screening B and A. There needs to be some delicate work done here by Fnatic to forge a path towards one of these objectives.
And I'm glad that you pointed out how different these teams are. You're going to have Fnatic looking to play a bit from range. They have a lot of these Beamers on their team. That's their original team name, actually, the Beamers. So you're going to see them looking to do that. But on the other side, OG, one of the most aggressive heavies in the entire game, willing to run into a room. You could be 6 people in that room. He doesn't care. He's going to go ahead and probably take out half of them.
He's a pretty terrifying prospect. OG, question marks over whether he could even attend.
So good.
He's got a load of people behind him right now. He's representing Russia, making him the only Russian at this event.
The only Russian at the event.
A lot resting on his shoulders, you know, yeah. And now we have the closing moments here. Rainker closes it down and Nigiri gets the final shots there. But a trade comes out as Rainker is felled. The Rez is going to come through, but the trade is there again. Heavies and mediums up, both lights down. Can Alex come up with the goods on this F-car? OG comes out with the kill. Rainker with one as well. It's a 1 versus 1. And Rainker is the one left standing atop piles of coins.
Rainker taking down his previous team, showing the Fnatic dominance in the first team fight of the match, but there are so much more to come. The vault not even plugged yet. The shots from Nigiri, getting that initial fight, OG going down, but the recovery from Team Secret, the tenacity of this team, their ability to snap back and hold. Alex, I think one of the most improved mediums in the entire scene in this game. For so long, he was playing with his brother, who could not be here, and for ages, it felt like they could not get past that hurdle, but now Team Secret, over the months, over this past year, have shown so much desire, the drive to improve.
C4 set underneath here by Secret. To immediately drop it. That debris comes down, though. Maybe a bit more destruction than they were bargaining for.
So do we like Team Secret or not?
Signal to Fnatic that they are close by.
Hey, man, I don't hate no team, dog.
We need to see where these winches go. They're going to really determine this. Rainker will have a big say in what happens. Not only does he hold the winch for that engagement, but also for any sort of objective stalling. The glitch trap being brought here by Alex, shown only at this tournament. And Alex tries to stick the steal. Looks like he's going to hold it.
They're pushing in very aggressively. He actually gets that Fnatic. The destruction was in their way. They weren't able to do any punishing, and now Team Secret getting away with murder, essentially. Getting rid of that jump pad. They're already fighting in the hallways there. You can see Roma being pushed very aggressively by the light of Fnatic. They've dropped onto the other two. They know that they're separated. Punishing the movement, punishing the disappointment. Secret losing on that cash out. It's going to be turned around, most likely going in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, only about 30 seconds left here, and a long enough time here on the score that we can safely say this is Fnatic's cash to kick things off. They are now 1 cash out away from booking their spot in the grand final. One exceptional series of moves there by Fnatic. They really just controlled the movement so nicely. And then honestly, in a fair fight between these two sides, when it comes down to a scrap at close range, I'm backing Fnatic.
They seem to just have that split-second decision-making. When Roma gets pushed away, Nagiri chasing him and then immediately turning away. The comm was obviously made. Roma is low. Ignore him. Focus on the two that we found, making sure that they know they're separated and they can punish in a 3v2.
I get the feeling that Secret are going to need to find every strategic advantage they can to topple Fnatic on a map like Nozomi, where it can be so brawl-centric. Roma rejoining with his team here. Of course, this vault needs to be moved.
Secret not out yet, of course. They're pulling out things that we haven't seen in a long time. The glitch trap, the vanish bomb being pioneered by Roma. Lots of creativity on this squad.
Deception,
firing through walls,
devastation.
what?
But glitch doesn't really connect. That barrel having a smaller radius, of course. And there's, of course, a dive. Can they find Nagiri at the end of this? Oh, so close. Elix can't quite land the shots, though. And in goes OG.
Very aggressive push from OG, but Rainking is there in spades, able to go ahead and take him down. Alex with an RPG to the face, losing his health. He needs to escape, but he cannot. He is down. Roma, the last one ref. He is taking care of one. Can he take care of the nest? They're going for the long res. Fnatic trying to take a moment, but can he punish vaulting? He vaulted on the wrong wall. He has to get away now. He's being pushed by all three, just running at him like a steamroller.
Wow.
It's okay. Oh, no,
ruthless from Fnatic as they take yet another team fight here, running over Team Secret like a steamroller, as you say. And a destination, it seems, for this watch. In fact, they're moving towards the middle of the map. It seems they're undecided at this point which direction they're going. Nope. We see the gateway positioned, taking it all the way to C. And here, delaying the travel through the gateway to push the spawns further away. I like that from Rainker. Nice heads-up movement.
Secret have to figure out how to get here. Pretty much every point on this side. So difficult to push to, but Secret have found their way in relatively unscathed. Not a lot of damage done to them. They're going to be able to take this fight on even terms, but it's going to be up in close. We talked about OG. If he's hitting, he's going to be able to take it to Fnatic. They're right on the other side of that wall. C4 does go off. A lot of damage. OG taking an RPG. They're also low. Raimke is out for blood. He's chasing after, but he's getting melted. Alex takes that one down, adds another Nux to the tally, but they're being on the run. They have to get away.
Nakos gets so many kills here. They're all low HP, but the heals are just enough from Team Secret to keep them in it. It's a 1 versus 2 now, as down goes so many players. Nagiri last one standing. OG and Roma cleaning it up. And they should get the steal here.
It's not over yet. This is a best of one. There is nowhere to run. You cannot make these mistakes.
Was doing crazy, but dude,
one cash out and you are in the final four.
I don't know.
All right, building the defenses now. Team
All
Secret.
These games, like I said, can go
looking
either
for
way.
a position. Roma ready to again manipulate the spawns, push it over to that far via side of the map. And it's worked out one.
Fnatic, all they need to do is get a steal in this
Team
game.
Secret, they've had the distance closed very rapidly here by Fnatic. Not much resistance on the cross here. 30 seconds here for Fnatic to dive on and get the steal.
Everything on the point being destroyed. If Fnatic get this, they will make it through. It's all on Secret to hold. They're doing well so far. Damage being thrown into Raimking. He's gone.
Chaos.
Roma, the first blood. He takes them out. Nagiri falls as well. It's all on Nagos. He does have the defib, but the entire team is there. Eats the defib, and Secret continue the match.
Team Secret forcing it to a third patch out here on the Zomi Citadel. This is for that free spot in the grand final. And it's coming down to the last one. Team Secret scouting out, finding out where Vault 3 is now.
Spot. What do you mean?
Very close to A, notably. Not much distance between the two. They can probably direct the gateway. So when Fnatic spawn, they're going to see this and head straight to A to make sure that
come on, Beamers.
Tapping the vault on
It literally is anybody's
and
game.
the Vanish Bomb to make sure they can get to height without issues. This will be a battle of positioning. As everybody knows, A is the goal here.
Oh, an early engagement as well. They decide to don't worry about the vault fight at all. OG taking a lot of damage here, and they try and close him down, but the heals are there. He loses his life, however. Rainker taken out as well in the mix. In fact, no, he's the last one
Fnatic is
standing.
getting
Everyone
wiped,
else on Fnatic has gone down to the hands of Roma and Enix, who are off by
Fnatic
themselves.
was going so
Just
crazy until this
murdering
point in time. But
the medium and light. It was a brilliant 2 versus 2 they took.
The tides feel like they may be
can
turning,
still
Jerry. Fnatic starting off so strong, but Secret clapping back. We deserve the Final Four. We are the best EU team in this tournament.
There is still a chance, of course, for either team to make it after this loss, but they need this. They want this. They want that break between now and the grand final. C4 and Glitchmine placed on top of the cash out, something we have not said in
Fnatic still has
almost a year in terms of the competitive meta at this
They
point.
got wiped
And it's
twice,
really
so I
digging
don't think
through
they're
the
going to make the
annals of
same mistake this time.
competitive history to pull
You know
that
what
one
I mean?
out here on the grand stage.
Unless they get wiped again,
Now Post
then they have
closing the
one
distance
more
alongside
chance.
the rest of Fnatic, and they can open this wall
think they're gonna
potentially
play
once it
smart,
inside
though.
for the steal. Geary has a bit of a
No
sight line,
call
looking
to
to
grab
maybe
it?
get some damage out before the
They could've
engagement.
clawed
Being
it.
really careful about it. Nice preemptive Goo there, but they can't get the shots onto the C4. Renka deciding to back up. Team Secret still just waiting for enough of a signal
Dude, drag it.
to pull the trigger.
Trying to get a head peek there so he can start the steal and keep himself safe.
Fake.
He is going to force them out, though, Ramkey. But they're engaging on the other two. They're going to ignore the flip entirely. They want to get the kills. Bloodthirsty Team Secret chasing after them. Nagos very, very low, trying to keep his team healthy. But the damage is going the other way. No, but it's turned. They managed to take Fnatic out. Only Nagos left.
And that's it. He's taken out by OG. That's a wipe going the way of Team Secret. Fnatic taken out. And with the
How much time
time,
do they have?
this is very dicey. We've got about 15
Someone's
seconds
like, "No."
before Fnatic spawn back in. It is going to
Dude.
be a mad
It could-
dash to this cash out. Team Secret
I was about to
maybe
say,
thinking
dude, there's
back,
literally been
could have
game
taken a leaf out of Alliance's book there. They knew
They
last
don't have
player was
much
only
time
one.
left.
And now they have to survive yet another team fight. But the odds are heavily in their favor on this defense.
It's not looking good for them, but we've seen these flips before.
They can
We saw
snatch
these
it
flips
from
in
the
our last
bottom, though.
series.
They throw Goo
There's
in the bottom,
still
it's
time.
theirs.
Anything can happen in the
Like,
finals.
yeah, sure,
Roma's
sure,
been
sure.
found. Nagiri has him. He knows that they're separated. They drop to the
Stealing.
point. They're going for the steal. He's trying for it, but Nagus
That's
is
it.
gone. One more is gone. Nagiri's gone. Ramking is left, but he
Fnatic
cannot do it.
lost.
OG
That's crazy.
Secret are in your final four.
OG with 4 kills at the end to seal the deal. It was virtually a victory lap of that, but Team Secret coming from behind in the series to take it and book their spot in the Final Four. They are overjoyed. Fnatic devastated, but there will be another chance.
They had the longest road to get here. Secret going so far.
They're not done, though. are
Falling
they?
so many times, and finally, they put it together.
It had to go to the third cash out. We saw it with Envy versus SSG. We saw it here with Team Secret versus Fnatic. Two titans of EU who have made it this far. Only one is able to mark that first spot to represent, but Fnatic's not out of it yet. They still have another chance to qualify.
I was about to say,
Team
dude.
Secret, they can rest
For
easy
sure.
knowing that they
They're
are
not
in the
out of
top 4. They are marking the very first round for EU.
Absolutely. That was an incredible performance. Yeah, they started off really slow. Team Secret seemed to be stumbling at every turn and corner, but they found their tempo, they found their momentum, and they just continued to steamroll on the second half of that map. It was impressive.
Yeah, I think the big swap was that recovery after a massive plug and spawn manipulation from Ramkey and Fnatic. But they took a massive C4 and was able to turn that fight around and swing it against Fnatic and take that second cash out. That, to me, was the pivotal moment in that game.
After the third team wipe, you could see the moment where Team Secret just takes a second to recombine their forces and figure out exactly what to do to just stop, reset the tempo, and re-pace. And that's what the game is all about, is pacing. There is so much that goes into the different concepts of final round format, 3v3, and
brother.
cash out especially. But
I was
in
gonna
Rio,
careless
how incredible is it that we actually are guaranteed one EU team and possibly another one? We'll find out a little bit more, though, because we have a winner's interview with Oscar on the stage.
Winners interview.
Right, you are already. Welcome back to Stockholm. I'm standing with Team Secret, Delix! Second team to join the top 4. Let me say it for the first time this day. You've officially reached the finals. How do you feel, my friend?
I'm so stressed, bro. Like, I'm shaking. Like, the hype was insane. There is so much pressure. We were not expecting to come here. Like, top 4 for us is already insane. With everything we go through with OG, coming from Russia, like, it's insane for us.
I mean, the road has been long. a couple of months ago, you actually slept on my spare bed because your Airbnb got canceled. I didn't really think at that time we'd go from sharing a bed to sharing a stage, but I'm happy you're here now, man, and you're heading into the top 4. Any prediction? Are we winning everything?
To be honest, we came here to win. We are top 4, so we can take the win, maybe.
There it is, everyone, Helix!
Dang, man.
With that, back to the studio. There's more games to go.
Thank you so much, Oscar. That's my medium. That's my Elix right there. Love the energy out there. And yeah, so, I mean, this is it. We have some EU representation. We didn't think that would happen. Speaking of EU representation, now on this desk featuring Jerry.
Thank you, Fnatic. Thank you, Secret. You've given me really something to celebrate here. Secret especially, of course. That was a barn burner of a series. Well, barn burner of best of 1, I suppose.
Yeah.
It feels almost strange that wasn't a best of 3. But yeah, it's just entertaining to watch these two sides go at it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And especially, I mean, I already said it best, having one EU rep guaranteed in that top 4 is going to be amazing to see, seeing how they stack up against NA rep already there.
Well, if you want to see another bit of NA on NA battle, you said, hey, that should have been a best of 3. I got some news for you. We got these 2 teams here, Pioneers and Nightmare. They're about to play a best of 3. But one of these teams is going home. So let's see this out here. In order to bring that action, we got Rio and Walt.
Thank you so much, Artie. We are going to bring you the action, as you said, and get started on the Zomi Citadel with KCP versus Nightmare. One of them will take it on, and the other one will go home.
How do I choose between some of my favorite players in the game? Lasagna, players that I have been watching and loving for years at this point. Gremlin, somebody that came in and just absolutely fit into the squad like a glove. Llama and Brendy, 2 players that I have loved to talk to. Spawn has tried so hard. He has improved so much. And Brendy kicking it off fast with a quick kill onto Gremlin. Lasagna as well, pulling away. KCP drawing first blood.
Absolutely. Nightmare down a member. They're trying to struggle a little bit to figure out their next footing. KCP, though, have slowed things down just a little bit. They're exposing themselves in the middle just a hair, and you can tell that Lasagna figured out where they are just from that tiny little foot. But now the engagement is kicking off. A winch claw that went nowhere, did not connect with Uni. He is now dashing around. He wants to try and connect with that vault.
Oh, Uni. We know how good he is with the dash, the ability to move around. And the question for me is, did Llama decide to go with the sledge that we all love him for? He has decided to opt for the SA-12, a choice that in 3v3s I think is probably the better choice. The versatility that he has shown, starting only this year.
Oh, yeah.
Being a sledge main and then learning a weapon mid-season.
Absolutely. It's second to
And
none.
Nightmare
Really
together.
Switch back and forth, but the engagement kicking off.
Everybody's going Nightmare, though.
Forcing them to push back. All of KCP incredibly low. But look, this Gremlin and Lasagna surviving on just a sliver. And Lasagna switching back to heal up his teammates, but could not do it. He's the only remaining person. KCP is pushing them back.
No.
They're charging at them, but they're stalling as well. They do not want to give him the kill. They do not want to give him the satisfaction of wiping his team. And they're just going to play with him like a cat with a dead mouse.
No way.
I tell you what, Rio, the Pioneers are on fire right now. They found Lasagna. They're going to go ahead and put him in the grave 6 feet under. Nothing like the Pioneers. They have found their stride.
Dude.
Spawns is absolutely dominating.
Absolutely. It's an incredible performance. Nightmare seems to be struggling at every corner. KCP has the setups. They have the time. And even look at them right now. You can tell that they are getting prepared for this next spawn to come back in and just absolutely stop them dead in their tracks.
And it is rare to see Nightmare this harried in a 3v3. One of the greatest 3v3 teams in the game right now. And it is
crazy.
Seeing them not even getting kills is surprising. They're in the fight right now, pushing towards this point. Precious seconds left on the clock as they look to go and get this steal. Goo being thrown down. Gremlin looking to make sure he can get this in place. He has the dome shield, but the height advantage is there. Lasagna already going down. Again, no kills on the side of Nightmare. They're unable to go ahead and get any feet underneath them. Brendy taking out Lasagna, already dead. Gremlin with only a few HP. Uni goes down. Finally, Gremlin strikes back, but the time is gone and he falls to the RPG. Again, KCP with a wipe.
It is looking so one-sided now.
With
Waltz,
the
Nightmare needs to figure
RPG.
something out, and they need to figure it out right now. This next vault is going to be so important for them to try and intercept it, get the plug, and get something going. I think that Nightmare is an extremely strong defensive team, but the fact is that we have not been able to see them get on their defense even once. They're always on the offensive side.
Uni is normally so good at locating the enemy team, being able to provide them the number one support in the qualifiers. Uni, a player that we normally know for his frags, able to do both, supporting his team and giving them the opportunities to shine. But right now, he's being shut down. It is a best of 3. Plenty of time for them to reset and figure this out. But right now, KCP are on fire. Grand Theft Vault right now as he nabs it off the floor and runs to the other side of the map.
This is a perfect opportunity for Nightmare to start building some momentum. This is exactly what I was just saying, that they need a minute to set up their defenses. And once they do, they can let Uni go and flank around a corner. And that's when he really shines. He can really get those picks that he needs with the engagement already kicking off. KCP taking a little bit of damage. Brandy going down almost halfway health. Now they're trying to find a new way into this fight. They go for Lasagna. Look at this. Lasagna gets a kill, followed up by Uni. One person left, and Lava just decides to explode himself to wipe his team.
The Nightmare strike back. It is not over so quickly, KCP. You have to work for this one. You need to put in the effort.
Well, I love it. We have a match on our hands. Finally, they have come alive. And I'm going to stand behind what I said. They're a defensive team. Look at this. Look at their setup right now as well. They're trying to get to the high ground. And look at Uni. He's now throwing a barrel, trying to find any opening that he can. Lasagna as well, posturing themselves up, just being ready for any place that KCP can start their movement. KCP now throwing a gateway, bringing all their teams into this building, and they're about to start the engagement.
Pushing up, taking this from the low ground. KCP, not one to rush into things. Taking this slowly, making sure that they're not putting a foot out of place. Blocks himself off from winching this cash out a little further into the room. I would have expected him to maybe try to throw the goo a little bit past it, block off some angles, but instead they need to drop it down further. There's the winch this time. Hits it, goo, blocks us off. The hallmark of KCP, play around that goo, but you can't goo off the ceiling when they blow it up with C4. KCP getting dropped on by Nightmare, but they get the first blood. Uni goes down to a C4 from Llama. As Llama, Lasagna and Gremlin mounted by the side of KCP. They're gonna steal it, and that's done in 2. KCP take map 1.
There's no time left. I can't believe this. What an incredible performance by KCP. Nightmare barely had any opportunity to do anything on this entire map. If that's what we're looking forward to, this is going to be insane going into the next one because Nightmare's up against it.
The Pioneers, not one of those teams that most people would rank at the top. Consistently around the middle ground, occasionally reaching the heights in the NA region. But taking down Nightmare, something that they have struggled to do in the past. Look at that. They know the job is not done, though. That is full game mode on for these guys. And a single kill for the entire side of Nightmare. A kill apiece.
Brindy got 3 kills himself, so he basically did all of Nightmare's kills. That is just heartbreaking. And like, I can't stress, if you're new to this game, Nightmare has been a name. They have been a staple. They are a team that people fear. They let them have their own cash out. People just don't bother them. They're that afraid of them. And KCP comes up with a performance like that, and they are just absolutely obliterating them. What is going on, Waltz?
It's just incredible. I think for me, the difference has got to be Spawns.
Yeah.
Spawns showing up, winning not just the light battles, putting up these insane numbers. 5 kills from him. And we move directly into this next map now. Fortune Stadium.
Oh, absolutely. It really is the battle of lights. Spawns versus Uni. Who is the better one? Who has the better positions? And who can get those incredibly powerful flanks? But we will be going to Fortune Stadium, which is my favorite map. Maybe Nightmare will find some good fortune on Fortune Stadium.
Here's the hope for going out in 2 is
guess
not
I'll keep it
the
going.
end that Nightmare would have hoped for. Qualifying so quickly in the day. But they did have a long route through the close qualifiers. The team can struggle sometimes, but we know that they have
coming along.